Chapter 882. Zhao Bin was using an old trick. Almost every time he saw a beauty that caught his eye, he would use this trick to pick them up. Zhao Bin had tried this trick many times, but it didn't work on Ma Xin at all. Don't talk nonsense. I don't plan to be a star. I'm here with my boyfriend to warn you. Don't ban my boyfriend again. Otherwise, I'll report you for malicious assault. Ma Xin understood everything after knowing Zhao Bin's identity. A few days ago, a group of strong men broke into Ma Xin and Qin Feng's residence to make trouble. Later, they were knocked down by Ma Xin. The leader admitted that it was Mr. Zhao of Starlive Media who asked them to make trouble. Now, Zhao Bin began to ban Qin Feng. Little beauty, don't be so hasty to make a decision. There's no future for you to follow that ugly man. He's already been banned. You'll only live a life of eating and vomiting if you follow him. Zhao Bin didn't mind being rejected. He was confident that he could take down Ma Xin. I'll be happy even if I eat and vomit. It's none of your business. Beauty, why are you so stupid? I'm not in a hurry anyway. Think about it more. I'll give you time. Zhao Bin looked at Ma Xin with a smile. The more he looked at her, the more he liked her. Ma Xin was really scared by his stare. She said coldly, "Tell me, what do I have to do to get rid of my boyfriend's ban?" "Well, that depends on your performance, little beauty. It just so happens that I'm short of a personal assistant. If little beauty is willing to be my assistant, then I'll consider letting that ugly man off the hook." Zhao Bin smiled playfully. His personal assistant was just like Fei Fei. They didn't have to do anything but take care of his body every day. "Director Zhao, boo-hoo, I'm just your personal assistant. Why are you looking for someone else?" Fei Fei hurriedly acted coquettishly to Zhao Bin. She used to act coquettishly all the time. However, after Ma Xin appeared, Zhao Bin felt disgusted when he saw Fei Fei. "Shut up. If you talk any more nonsense, get out of here." Zhao Bin directly interrupted Fei Fei's words. Fei Fei was so scared that she didn't dare to speak anymore. Ma Xin wasn't stupid. Of course, she understood what Zhao Bin meant. However, she wouldn't agree to Zhao Bin's request, even if she was beaten to death. This was also because Zhao Bin's identity was special, and he held the power of life and death in Qin Feng's star path. Otherwise, why would Ma Xin talk nonsense with him here? He had already sent Zhao Bin flying with a few kicks, just like how he had dealt with the man in the white suit. "Little beauty, have you thought about it? Don't worry. If you follow me, I guarantee that you'll have a good life in the future. You'll get whatever you want." Seeing that Ma Xin wasn't saying anything, Zhao Bin impatiently asked. Qin Feng's patience had long since run out. He didn't wait for Ma Xin to speak and interrupted Zhao Bin. "Cancel the move to ban me right now, and I can let you feel a bit better." Zhao Bin was slightly taken aback. As if he had heard the funniest joke in the world, he suddenly burst into laughter. "Huh, are you kidding me? How dare you threaten me at a time like this?" Sure enough, he's a newbie. He doesn't even know the division of power in this industry, yet he dares to come out? You should go back and drink milk for a few more years before coming out. From beginning to end, Zhao Bin didn't look Qin Feng in the eye. The moment he opened his mouth, he mocked Qin Feng. Fei Fei had just suffered a setback, so she immediately ran over and hugged Zhao Bin's arm. She had a pitiful expression as if she was deeply afraid that Zhao Bin really wouldn't want her. "Director Zhao, this kind of person's appearance is destined to be a stinking beggar. Who does he think he is? He's simply polluting the air in our office. What right does a frivolous woman like you have to criticize Zheng Shuai?" Ma Xin usually stayed at home with Qin Feng and often joked that Qin Feng was too ugly. However, Ma Xin was only joking. Moreover, she only allowed herself to joke about this. Every time other people said Qin Feng was ugly, Ma Xin wanted to beat them to death. Fei Fei was so angry that her chest was about to explode. Her heavily made-up face became bitter and unkind. "You little bitch, you're pretending to be pure in front of your old lady? Your old lady will beat you back to your original form." Fei Fei had long since disliked Ma Xin. She extended her claws to dig at Ma Xin's face. However, Ma Xin was no longer the Ma Xin of the past. Ever since Qin Feng taught her to fight, Ma Xin's hands had been itching to fight, but she couldn't find anyone to practice with. Now that Fei Fei took the initiative to deliver herself to her, Ma Xin wasn't going to be polite. Slap! Before Fei Fei's sharp nails could touch Ma Xin's face, a crisp sound was heard. Ma Xin angrily slapped Fei Fei's face. Half of Fei Fei's face swelled up. Fei Fei was stunned. She stared at Ma Xin in disbelief. Then, Fei Fei started to scream strangely. She pounced at Ma Xin like a madwoman. "You little bitch, I'm going to disfigure you, slap." Ma Xin was very calm. She quietly stood where she was and didn't move half a step. She raised her lily-white hand and slapped Fei Fei's face again. This time, she slapped the other side of her face. When she slapped down, Ma Xin's hand was stained with a layer of foundation. This disgusted Ma Xin. Slap, 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 slap. Since she started, Ma Xin couldn't stop. It was as if she was affected by qin foam. Fei Fei's head swayed left and right from the slap. The foundation could be seen flying under the sunlight. Fei Fei's screams filled the room. Ma Xin stopped slapping Fei Fei when she was tired. Fei Fei's face was swollen like a pig's head. The foundation and makeup on her face were gone. Her original appearance shocked qin foam. This woman didn't look any better than him. She slapped Fei Fei 18 times in a row, but it was done in an instant. Zhao Bin couldn't come back to his senses. He thought Ma Xin looked pure and lovely. He didn't expect this woman to be so cruel. "Zhao, I want you to cancel the ban on Zheng Shuai now. Otherwise, you'll end up like that woman." After Qin Feng trained Ma Xin, she became an all-around manager. Now, Ma Xin didn't even need Qin Feng to show up. Ma Xin had said everything she needed to say. Qin Feng thought this Ma Xin was very good. However, there was one flaw. If he slept with this woman, it would be perfect. "Why you dare to hit someone in my office? Why you'll regret it." Zhao Bin came back to his senses. His heart was a little nervous. He thought he controlled Qin Feng's star path, and Qin Feng would obediently kneel and beg for mercy. Now, it seemed that wasn't the case. "Looks like you don't understand. Then I'm going to make my move." Ma Xin wouldn't be soft-hearted toward the bad guy like Zhao Bin. Seeing that Ma Xin really raised her hand to slap him, Zhao Bin was so scared that he screamed, Someone come quickly. Rebellion. Someone is rebelling in my territory." Slap. As soon as Zhao Bin finished shouting, Ma Xin slapped him. Just as she was about to slap him a second time, a group of people suddenly rushed in. However, these people weren't security guards because none of them wore security uniforms. A total of 6 people came in. All of them were dressed in suits and leather shoes. They looked very dignified. It was obvious that they were people of high status. Ma Xin stopped and hurriedly returned to Qin Feng's side. She looked like she wanted to protect Qin Feng at all times. Zhao Bin was stunned when he saw the people who came. In the next second, he threw himself at them and shouted in surprise, as if he had seen his own father. "Chairman Du, why you're here? You really came at the right time. There's a stinky brat causing trouble in the branch here. Chairman Du, you must uphold justice for me." A group of 6 people came in. The leader, standing in the front, was around 40 years old. He was the Chairman Du that Zhao Bin called. Chairman Du had a dignified expression. His Armani suit alone was worth hundreds of thousands. The luxury watch in his hand was even more expensive, costing 5 million yuan. Chairman Du was the vice president of the provincial capital's Starry Live Media. To put it bluntly, he was Yang Can's henchman. Before coming to Starry Live Media, Qin Feng sent a text message to Yang Can. The content of the message was very simple. "Little Can, I have a little brother named Zheng Shuai. He wanted to develop into a singer, but he was banned by Chairman Zhao of your Zhongchuan branch. Do as you see fit." Although the message was brief, Yang Can felt as if he had been struck by lightning after reading it. Nowadays, the 4 young masters of the provincial capital had become very low-key because of the freak Qin Feng in the provincial capital. What Yang Can feared the most now was to provoke Qin Feng's displeasure. He guarded left and right, but he didn't expect that his underlings would still offend Qin Feng. Yang Can didn't dare to be the slightest bit negligent. He had to deal with this kind of matter personally. However, it was an emergency. Even if Yang Can could fly, he couldn't rush to Zhongchuan City in a short time. He immediately called Chairman Du in Hong Kong. As the vice president of Star Live Media, Chairman Du's position was barely enough to receive Qin Feng's little brother. Therefore, Chairman Du put down everything in his hands and raced against time to rush from Hong Kong. Now he stood in Zhao Bin's office. Excuse me, are you Mr. Zheng Shuai? Chairman Du had no time to pay attention to Zhao Bin. He quickly walked to Qin Feng's side respectfully. The situation kept changing. Ma Xinxin was dumbfounded. Qin Feng's expression didn't change at all. He had already guessed that Chairman Du was sent by Yang Can. I'm Zheng Shuai, said Qin Feng. After confirming Zheng Shuai's identity, Chairman Du couldn't wait to kneel in front of Qin Feng and talk to him. He quickly smiled and said, "Hello, Mr. Zheng Shuai. I'm the vice president of Star Live Media's Beijing head office. You can call me Xiao Du. Our company's boss, young Master Yang Can, admires your singing very much. He wants to promote you. I hope Mr. Zheng Shuai can give us this opportunity." Chairman Du's attitude toward Qin Feng was extremely respectful. Everyone in the room was dumbfounded. When Qin Feng rejected Zhao Bin's invitation, he told Ma Xinxin that Yang Can was his little brother. Ma Xinxin didn't believe him at that time, but at this moment, she began to believe him. After Fei Fei was slapped by Ma Xinxin, she sat on the ground and screamed. At this moment, she forgot to scream in pain and looked at the scene in front of her in disbelief. The most shocked person was Zhao Bin. He never expected that young Master Yang Can would take a fancy to Zheng Shuai. He even wanted to promote Zheng Shuai. Did young Master Yang take the wrong medicine? Zheng Shuai was so ugly. You don't have the right to talk to me about this. If you want to cooperate with me, get Yang Can to come see me. Chapter 883. The four young masters of the provincial capital were very famous in China. Most people would not offend these four families. However, in Qin Feng's eyes, Yang Can was like a wild dog. Chairman Du wiped the cold sweat off his forehead. Before he came, Yang Can repeatedly told him to treat Zheng Shuai well. However, Chairman Du did not expect Zheng Shuai to be so arrogant that he even dared to scold young Master Yang. This time, Mr. Du didn't know what to say. "Stinking brat, what are you talking about? How dare you insult young Master Yang?" The brief silence was broken by Zhao Bin. Zhao Bin felt that he should do something to redeem himself. When he heard Qin Feng scolding Yang Can, Zhao Bin knew that his chance to turn the tables had finally arrived. "Chairman Du, this brat is just a newbie, and he's so ugly. I don't think it's necessary to spend resources to promote him. You heard what he said just now. Chairman Du, this person is too arrogant. He doesn't even respect young Master Yang. How can we tolerate such a wretch behaving atrociously here? I think we should just arrest him." "Shut up." Zhao Bin blabbered a bunch of bad things about Qin Feng. He wanted to sow discord between Chairman Du and Qin Feng. However, before he could finish, Chairman Du could not hold it in anymore and rebuked Zhao Bin. "Zhao Bin, who do you think you are? I'm chatting with Mr. Zheng Shuai. Do you think you have the right to speak? Hurry up and get lost. I get angry when I see you." Chairman Du could not figure out Zheng Shuai's identity, but Yang Can had repeatedly told him to treat Zheng Shuai well. Even if Qin Feng scolded Yang Can, Chairman Du could not afford to offend Qin Feng. He could only think of a way to delay for a while and wait for young Master Yang Can to come and deal with it himself. Zhao Bin was dumbfounded by Chairman Du's scolding. He even suspected that he was dreaming. He's just a newbie, Zheng Shuai. Is there need to please him so much? He's fine even if he scolded young Master Yang. "Chairman Du, are you muddle-headed? That brat was scolding young Master Yang just now. Since you don't care about this, I'll call young Master Yang now." Zhao Bin had never suffered such humiliation before. He threw caution to the wind. "I don't care if you're Chairman Du or the Chairman Ma. I'll call Yang Can and ask young Master Yang to help me." Slap! Zhao Bin had just taken out his phone when Mr. Du slapped it away. After slapping the phone away, Mr. Du did not stop at all. He waved the phone randomly at Zhao Bin's face. Pa pa pa. The rhythmic sound of slaps echoed in the office, and Zhao Bin was completely stunned. Fei Fei was even more dumbfounded when she saw this scene. How could Fei Fei not know Mr. Du's identity? Seeing Mr. Du hit someone, Fei Fei didn't even dare to let out a fart. Mr. Du, you please stop. Zhao Bin let out a blood-curdling scream before he finally regained his senses. His ferocious expression made it seem as if he wanted to retaliate. Stop. I'll hold your numb hand. President Du's status was high and mighty. He was inexplicably called to Zhongchuan City by Yang Can and had to curry favor with a newcomer like Zheng Shuai. How could he not have any resentment in his heart? These resentments just happened to be vented on Zhao Bin. Motherfucker, you idiot. I'm going to kill you. Zhao Bin had been continuously beaten recently, and he was forced into a corner. He waved his fists and began to retaliate. Both of them were ordinary people, and judging from their postures, they didn't usually fight. After a while, the two of them wrestled and rolled back and forth on the ground. Zhao Bin, damn you, you even dare to hit me? I'm going to make you scram. After all, Zhao Bin was injured, and it was Mr. Du who attacked first. After a round of fighting, Mr. Du still had the upper hand. At this time, he sat on Zhao Bin's body and fiercely punched his face. This scene was too savage. Fei Fei trembled all over as she watched. Qin Feng and Ma Xin, on the other hand, had calm expressions. To them, a fight of this level was like a fight between kindergarten kids. Savage my ass. Who knew how many punches Chairman Du threw? In any case, he only stopped when he was tired. Zhao Bin lay on the ground with bloodstains all over his body. His body was still slightly twitching, and his entire face had become like a pig's head. He was practically a pair with Fei Fei. Mr. Zheng Shuai, I've really let you see a joke. That bastard took the wrong medicine today. He's much more well-behaved after I taught him a lesson. Mr. Du endured the pain in his body and ran over to greet Qin Feng. Qin Feng was too lazy to talk nonsense and said directly, You came at the right time. Hurry up and cancel the action to ban me. Otherwise, I won't be polite. Mr. Du looked puzzled and asked, Mr. Zheng Shuai, what action? I don't know. Qin Feng stared into Mr. Du's eyes. He could see that Mr. Du really didn't know about this. In other words, this action was Zhao Bin's abuse of private power. That bastard surnamed Zhao used the resources of Starlive Media to ban Zheng Shuai recently. We're here for this matter. Without Qin Feng saying anything, Ma Xin explained the situation. Mr. Du was furious. No wonder young Master Yang called him over. After all this time, it turned out that Zhao Bin had caused trouble here. Mr. Zheng Shuai, our Starlive Media headquarters, didn't know about this. It must be that idiot Zhao Bin who abused his private power. I'll call young Master Yang now and explain the matter. President Du had already made a call. His heart was in a mess. He still couldn't figure out Zheng Shuai's identity. Just now, Zheng Shuai had scolded young Master Yang. President Du didn't know if he would be scolded. Xiao Du, have you seen Zheng Shuai? The phone rang twice before it was connected. Young Master Yang, I have. Mr. Zheng Shuai said that Zhao Bin is banning him and wants us to cancel the action. Mr. Du didn't talk nonsense and explained the whole matter in a few words. Yang Can had just boarded a private plane and was rushing to Zhongchuan City. He was so angry that he almost smashed his phone. Fuck Zhao Bin's mother. Why is he banning Zheng Shuai for no reason? Hurry up and cancel the action. Take good care of Zheng Shuai like you treat your grandfather. I'm on my way. If anything goes wrong, I'll take care of you. The phone had been hung up. Mr. Du's shirt was drenched in sweat. However, Mr. Du was very glad that he had just chosen the right team. Fortunately, he didn't offend Zheng Shuai. Otherwise, he would have ended up like that idiot Zhao Bin. Mr. Zheng Shuai, young Master Yang said that this is all a misunderstanding. Our Starlive Media will immediately cancel the ban on you and fire Zhao Bin. In order to make up for the loss caused by this misunderstanding to Mr. Zheng Shuai, our Starlive Media is prepared to promote Mr. Zheng Shuai in the following time. President Du was a flexible person. With just a few words, he arranged everything properly. This result was within Qin Feng's expectations, but Ma Xin was stunned. She was now sure that Yang Can was really Qin Feng's little brother. At this moment, Ma Xin was confused. She couldn't figure out which of Qin Feng's previous words was true, which was false. You're responsible for dealing with this matter. Don't let that brat Yang Can come, Qin Feng said unquestionably. Mr. Du didn't dare to go against Qin Feng's wishes. Okay, I'll definitely do it well. Please rest assured, Mr. Zheng Shuai. This is my little brother's business card. If there's anything, look for me at any time. Qin Feng took the business card, hugged Ma Xin, and swaggered out of Starry Live Media. After the two walked for a while, Mr. Du let out a long sigh of relief and sat down on the ground. The pressure brought by Qin Feng was too great. Just now, Mr. Du had been pretending to be calm. In the next few days, the number of Qin Feng's fans began to increase explosively. Zhao Bin was violently beaten up by Mr. Du and then fired. Yankin learned that Zheng Shuai didn't let him go to Zhongchuan City. The plane was already halfway there, so he hurriedly turned around and retreated. Yankin didn't dare to offend Zheng Shuai because this was the person Qin Feng specifically sent a text message to greet. Yankin told Mr. Du to stay in Zhongchuan City and specifically serve Zheng Shuai. These days, Qin Feng sang a few new songs. Every time the video was uploaded, the large video websites under Star Live Media immediately pinned it to the top and continuously recommended it. It was hard for Qin Feng not to become popular. Crazy. Qin Feng, your fans are crazy. These days, Ma Xin often screamed. Her voice was somewhat ambiguous, and Qin Feng almost couldn't hold it in several times. Weibo fans broke 10 million. The new song that was just uploaded broke 500,000 views in an hour, 50,000 shares, 30,000 comments. Ma Xin looked at the data that changed every minute and danced with joy. Qin Feng jumped onto the bed and looked at Ma Xin's big breasts. He really wanted to pull it open and see what it looked like. Qin Feng, Mr. Du looked for me this morning and said he wanted to help you produce an original album. Do you want to agree? Ma Xin said as she scrolled through the comments. If it can help me increase my fans, then I'll consider it. But I don't have time to compose my own songs and lyrics. Ask them to find someone to help me compose a song, and I'll just sing it. Qin Feng said he was very busy, but in fact, he slept at home every day. These days, Qin Feng was indeed very idle. Other than waking up every morning to kiss Ma Xin and absorb the poisonous gas, he spent the rest of his time watching TV or sleeping. With Ma Xin's help, Qin Feng's strength had already recovered to stage 8 inner qi. Qin Feng also discovered a good thing. The poisonous gas in Ma Xin's body was very pure. After using this poisonous gas to break through, Qin Feng's inner qi was even more powerful than when he was at stage 8 inner qi. You're really lazy. Then I'll tell Mr. Du to prepare a song. Ma Xin began to busy herself again. In this short half a month, she had become a strong woman. Although she was very tired and busy every day, Ma Xin's heart was sweet and warm. Ma Xin often thought how good it would be if time stopped in this half a month. Ma Xin really liked her current life. Qin Feng ran to sleep, and just as he fell asleep, his phone rang. Who is it? Qin Feng was a little angry when he was woken up. Qin Feng, are you busy now? I want to see you. Leah's wrong voice came from the phone as if she was bullied. Lilia, where are you? I'll go over now. Chapter 884. Qin Feng could tell that Leah seemed to be very helpless and needed someone's help. Qin Feng was no longer sleepy and immediately rushed to the coffee shop. Xiaoya, what's going on? When Qin Feng arrived, Leah was already there. Just like last time, there were 2 cups of coffee on the table. Qin Feng took a cup and took a few sips. Every time Leah went out alone with Qin Feng, she would dress up meticulously. However, today, she had only changed into a white sportswear and did not have any makeup on her face. Qin Feng, I've been under a lot of pressure recently. I can't take it anymore. The moment Leah saw Qin Feng, the strength and independence that she usually hid were all put away, revealing her most genuine and weak side in front of Qin Feng. Qin Feng pulled a chair and sat down beside Leah. He reached out and hugged Leah's small waist. Leah did not resist, and even cooperated by leaning her head into Qin Feng's embrace. In an instant, Leah felt a lot calmer. If you have any difficulties, just tell me. I'll think of a way to help you solve them. Qin Feng looked at Leah's pretty face and realized that this woman was truly beautiful. As expected of the most beautiful young lady in Hong Kong, for 3 consecutive terms. Leah was like a little woman. She pouted and complained in Qin Feng's embrace. It's the missing person case that I mentioned last time. There's still no clues for this case. And in the past week, the number of missing people has suddenly increased exponentially. In 7 days, more than 50 people have disappeared, and the pressure on the higher-ups is getting greater and greater. They have already issued a number 1 document telling me to find an important clue within half a month and solve the case within a month. Last time, Qin Feng had guessed that the missing person case was related to the verdant sect. Now, he was even more suspicious of this guess. If it was a normal organization that carried out a kidnapping, they would definitely stop for a few days to avoid the wind. However, this organization was simply lawless, wishing that they could kidnap everyone in Zhongchuan City. From what Qin Feng knew, only the verdant sect would dare to be so presumptuous. The organization you met this time might be very powerful. Not being able to solve the case is not a problem of your own ability. Come, let's go out for a walk. Qin Feng watched as the sky outside started to darken. His eyes flashed with a strange light as he pulled Leah out of the coffee shop. However, Leah was not in the mood to go shopping. It was obvious that she was still thinking about solving the case, but Qin Feng did not care about Leah's absent-mindedness because Qin Feng did not seem to be really shopping. Along the way, he was looking left and right as if he was looking for something. Unknowingly, the two of them arrived at a desolate small park. Only then did Leah come back to her senses. Seeing that Qin Feng had pulled her into a small park with no one around, she immediately became nervous. What do you want?" Leah pushed Qin Feng away and retreated a few steps before stopping. She stared at Qin Feng vigilantly. "I didn't do anything." Qin Feng was dumbfounded. The reason why he came to this deserted park at night was to lure the people of the verdant sect over. When Qin Feng was shopping just now, he discovered some suspicious people. Qin Feng purposely followed those people, and in the end, he walked to this desolate place. Then, Qin Feng discovered that those people had hidden themselves and had been following him, and Leah, "You don't play dumb. Why did you bring me here in the middle of the night? This is a place for couples to meet up and meet up." Leah did not believe Qin Feng at all. Last time at their residence, Leah had hugged Qin Feng and slept together for an entire night. If you didn't mention it, I would have forgotten. This place is indeed very suitable for a wild battle. Qin Feng smiled as he looked at Leah. Leah knew that Qin Feng had ulterior motives and was so angry that her lungs were about to explode. Usually, Qin Feng was not serious, but Leah's mood was at a low point, and in the end, Qin Feng was still not serious. Leah hated this kind of man. "Don't come near me. I hate you," Leah said angrily. "Are you really not coming? In a while, someone else will come over. Even if you want to come, you won't be able to," Qin Feng said seriously. Leah was startled for a moment. As a police officer, her observation skills were quite sharp. Leah saw something strange in Qin Feng's eyes, and then she heard the sound of footsteps coming from the quiet park. Brother Nyo, your luck is pretty good tonight. You've met 2 more people who are courting death. Cut the crap, just knock them out and grab them. Recently, Brother Lee's mission has been too heavy. Catch 50 people a month. Do you want me to give birth to 50 people for him? In a few breaths of time, 6 men ran in from the dark entrance of the park. Each of them held a dagger in their hands, which flickered with a cold light in the moonlight. "Who are you people?" Leah's jade hand was already behind her, where she kept her gun. "Don't even think about resisting. Obediently let us catch you, or else you'll only suffer even more." The leader, Brother Nyo, was as dark and strong as an ox. He guarded the entrance of the park and did not place Qin Feng and Leah in his eyes at all. With a wave of his hand, 5 of his lackeys pounced towards the 2 of them. Leah immediately pulled out her gun, causing Qin Feng to be speechless. "Don't shoot. Put them down and capture them alive." Leah was startled. When she regained her senses, she realized that Qin Feng had already disappeared. When she looked in front of her, there were 5 strong men lying on the ground. They were the 5 people who were about to rush up. Qin Feng's speed was too fast. He couldn't be this fast in bed, right? The secluded little park was dark. Leah and Brother Nyo could not see clearly. The battle was already over. Black Tiger, Iron Dragon, what's going on with you guys? Brother Nyo suddenly started to feel guilty. The arrogant attitude from before had long disappeared, and even his voice was trembling. Illo! Brother Nyo, that brat is so powerful. Quickly call for reinforcements. The 5 people on the ground screamed incessantly. Brother Nyo was so scared that he turned around and ran. Leah immediately wanted to chase after him, but was stopped by Qin Feng. Qin Feng, why aren't you chasing? Leah was puzzled. Let him call for reinforcements. We'll capture more people later. It'll definitely be of help to you. Qin Feng blew hot air into Leah's ear, causing Leah's entire body to heat up. Qin Feng already had his own plan in the coffee shop. He had helped Liu Bingbing solve the missing persons case in Acropolis City, so he had a better understanding of the verdant sex methods. Qin Feng purposely waited until night to bring Liu out to go shopping, and purposely walked to a park with few people in order to lure the verdant sex people to kidnap him and Leah. Qin Feng was using himself as bait, waiting for the verdant sex people to take the bait. Leah still did not understand Qin Feng's intentions, but Qin Feng definitely had his reasons for doing so. Leah quietly stood at the side and did not ask any more questions. The 2 of them guarded the park, and the 5 people on the ground were still screaming. Not long after, the sound of hurried footsteps could be heard. Hearing the sound, Leah's expression became nervous. There were at least 20 to 30 people. Brother Nyo, where are they? You dare to touch the brothers of our lone dragon gang. You're simply courting death. It's that dog couple. Everyone be careful. That man has some skills. Brother Nyo led the way and pointed at Qin Feng. A group of more than 30 people immediately surrounded Qin Feng and Leah, forming a circle around them in an instant. Just now, when Brother Nyo was standing at the entrance of the park, he did not even see Leah's appearance clearly. Now that he was closer, Brother Nyo and the other brothers immediately turned into pig heads and stared at Leah with green eyes. Brother Nyo, this girl is really fucking pretty. Brothers, you're in luck tonight. Everyone, grab that girl and play with her. The 30 or so hooligans were not good people. They were clamoring to strip Leah naked and play with her. Leah was so angry that her lily-white hands touched the gun again. If not for Qin Feng stopping her, Leah would have already fired. Brat, you were very capable just now, huh? You dare to come out at night and scare people when you're so ugly. Quickly kneel down for Lousy and crawl under Lousy's crotch. Lousy can spare your life. Brother Nyo was scared to death when he was running away, but now that he called his brothers over, he started to act arrogant again. Leah hated this kind of man the most. They were simply a bunch of trash. Black Devil, you've been gone for so long, yet you've called so many people over? You've really disappointed me. Qin Feng did not care about Brother Nyo's harsh words, and looked at him with a sneer. Brother Nyo was as strong as an ox, and his skin color was the same as big black oxes. He hated people calling him black the most, and Qin Feng called him Black Devil the moment he opened his mouth. Big Black Ox was so angry that his nose was crooked. Fuck your mother. Let's go together and stab this grandson to death. Brother Nyo roared. He was the first to brandish his dagger and pounce forward. The other 30 or so brothers did not retreat, and all surrounded Qin Feng. Leah nervously held on her gun, ready to fire at any time, but in the next second, she was stunned by the scene in front of her. Qin Feng's figure flickered, like a ghost floating around. Leah could not determine Qin Feng's position at all. She could only hear the continuous muffled sounds, followed by the screams of Brother Nyo and the others. Bang, 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 bang. In just a few minutes, the park was littered with people lying on the ground. The people on the ground were rolling back and forth in pain. Some of them had even fainted and could not even scream. Don't come over. We won't capture you anymore. You guys can leave. During this period of time, Brother Nyo would bring his brothers to squat in a sparsely populated area every night. Who knew how many people he had captured? It had always been the people who were captured begging for mercy from Brother Nyo. This was the first time Brother Nyo had encountered a situation where he couldn't catch someone and had to beg them to leave. This was simply too embarrassing. Lee was still in shock. Qin Feng stood in front of Brother Nyo and looked down at him. Do you think I'll leave just because you tell me to? Wouldn't that be very embarrassing? Brother Nyo was speechless. He felt that he had met a fool tonight. Did you have to be kidnapped to be happy? Then what do you want? Brother Nyo asked nervously. I already said that you didn't call enough people. How about this? I'll give you another chance. Call more people over. When have I ever been troubled by anyone? If you don't fight me to the death tonight, I won't let you guys off so easily. Qin Feng had a relaxed and casual expression on his face. Brother Nyo's group of brothers all had black lines on their foreheads. This person was really sick. Chapter 885. Brother Nyo was very depressed. He did not want to tangle with Qin Feng anymore. But in the end, this person pestered him. At the same time, Brother Nyo was also very angry. As an old member of the Lone Dragon Gang, when had Brother Nyo ever been bullied in Zhongchuan City? Today, he had brought a group of brothers to be beaten up. If he did not get back at them, how would he be able to survive in Zhongchuan City in the future? All right, that's what you said. Then I'll call for help now? Brother Nyo asked Qin Feng tentatively. He was afraid that Qin Feng was joking with him. Call as many people as you can, or else it won't even be enough for me to warm up. Qin Feng had a look of disdain on his face, angering Brother Nyo to the point that his lungs were about to explode. Because of Qin Feng's strength, Brother Nyo could not say anything harsh. He took his phone and went to the side to call for help. When the people came, Brother Nyo would teach Qin Feng a lesson. Leah was becoming more and more unable to understand Qin Feng. She could not understand why he was fighting with a group of hoodlums. Qin Feng, let's go. Don't bother with these scum. Leah came up and pulled Qin Feng's arm. Although Qin Feng was very powerful, Leah was still a little worried. How can we leave now? I've already said that I'll beat up as many people as they send. Do you want me to lose face here? But Leah wanted to persuade Qin Feng again, but she suddenly felt a burning pain on her buttocks. Qin Feng slapped down and said angrily, Stop talking. I said wait for someone. Leah jumped in fright. She was baffled by Qin Feng. You lunatic, I can't be bothered with you. Leah was a little angry. She sat on a stone bench with a cold face and did not look at Qin Feng again. Brother Nyo and the others on the ground had been secretly staring at Qin Feng the entire time. Seeing Qin Feng's arrogant and despotic attitude, these usually arrogant hoodlums were all angered to death. Black Tiger, Iron Dragon, you guys also call your brothers over. The more Brother Nyo thought about it, the angrier he became. He secretly called out to his two brothers. The two of them also ran to make a call and told their other brothers. All of a sudden, all the gangsters who were beaten up couldn't swallow their anger. They all ran to call for help. No matter how many people they called, they could only try their best to call more people over. Leah sat at the side and pretended to ignore Qin Feng, but she was secretly paying attention to the situation on Qin Feng's side. Seeing that Qin Feng was allowing those hoodlums to call for reinforcements, Leah was so angry that her teeth were about to shatter. Brother Nyo, I've called 5 brothers over. I called 10 from my side. I reckon that there will be more than 100 brothers coming. Just a mouthful of saliva from each of them will be enough to drown that fool. Wait until we've dealt with that fool. Then we'll all play with his woman. That chick is really pretty. Just looking at her makes me excited. After everyone finished their calls, they gathered together to count the number of people. When they found out that there were more than 100 people coming to help, Big Brother Nyo and the others instantly felt confident. Why would they be afraid of Qin Feng? Qin Feng, if you're not leaving, I'll go back by myself. Leah's heart became more and more uneasy. She stood up and walked out of the park. After taking 2 steps, Qin Feng pulled her into his embrace and pressed Leah down on the stone chair. Don't go anywhere, just sit here. Wait for me to finish taking care of these people. After Qin Feng finished speaking, his figure had already disappeared. Leah looked at the entrance of the park in a daze and was immediately scared stiff. There was a black mass of people pouring in, and, at a rough estimate, there were over 100 people. A group of people all came with weapons. Steel pipes, machetes, and other weapons reflected a cold light under the moonlight. These people purposely dragged their weapons on the ground, making an ear-piercing sound of metal rubbing against each other. Not long later, The black mass of people had already arrived at Li Yu's side, and Qin Feng had long since disappeared. Li Yu was like a little lamb as she sat pitifully on the stone bench, her jade-like hands tightly grabbing onto the gun at her waist to find a sense of security. "Brother Nyo, the brothers are here. Which blind brat offended you? I heard that kid is very arrogant. Let's have as many people as possible. I want to see if he has 3 heads and 6 arms or 2 balls. I alone will chop him to death." More than 100 hoodlums rushed into the park, shouting and yelling. It was extremely chaotic. Li Yu's body started to tremble. She kept looking around for Qin Feng's figure. Could it be that Qin Feng really left her behind? Where's that ugly freak? Brother Nyo, it's bad. That brat saw that our reinforcements had arrived and ran away in fright. Motherfucker, what a coward. Since that ugly bastard ran away, then let's capture his woman and play with her to death with 100 people. Brother Nyo looked around and realized that Qin Feng had really disappeared. The anger in Brother Nyo's heart surged, and he pounced towards Li Yu, who was sitting on the stone chair. "Qin Feng, you bastard, quickly save me." Li Yu started to scream in fear. Even if she had a gun, she wouldn't be able to beat down more than 100 people. No one believed that Qin Feng would dare to come back. The more Li Yu resisted, the more excited these hoodlums became. Swoosh! The sound of the wind rang out, but it was covered up by the laughter. Brother Nyo threw himself to Li Yu's side. His dirty hands were about to touch Li Yu's chest, but his hands never touched it, because his hands had already fallen to the ground. Li Yu started to scream. The scene in front of her was too strange. Li Yu's heart was about to jump out of her throat. Following that, Brother Nyo's scream was even higher than Li Yu's dolphin sound, causing the eardrums of the group of hoodlums to explode. "Brother Nyo, what happened to you? Your father's hand is gone." Brother Nyo screamed for a long time before he finally managed to squeeze out a sentence. The moment these words left his mouth, the surrounding hoodlums were all scared half to death. This park was cold and gloomy, and there was no light. Brother Nyo's hand suddenly disappeared. This was too fucking scary. Brother Nyo, don't joke around. This joke isn't funny at all. Brother Nyo, are you trying to scare us away and take that beautiful girl for yourself? At most, we'll let you go first. Stop screaming like a ghost, it's really scary. The brothers were all quite frightened by Brother Nyo's ghostly cries. Everyone wanted to persuade Brother Nyo to stop, but Brother Nyo's hands were really broken. They had already fallen to the ground and were still twitching in the blood. Brother Nyo's screams could not stop at all. He was in so much pain that he wanted to die. Those brothers had already realized that something was wrong, and very quickly, someone screamed, "Fuck, it's really broken. Brother Nyo's hand is crawling on the ground." "Woozy, damn you. Can you stop scaring people?" Woozy isn't lying. He's crawling. Brother Nyo's hand is crawling on the ground. The 100 or so people were completely in an uproar. Just a moment ago, they were all aggressive and fearless. How long had it been since they arrived? All of them were so scared that they couldn't even walk. Shio, shio, shio. The wind whistled again, and this time, it was continuous. White light flickered in the crowd like floating fireflies. Immediately, screams sounded like thunder, and the entire small park was filled with the strong smell of blood. Li was not injured, but she was also screaming. She looked at the bloody scene in front of her, as if she was looking at a real-life horror movie, living to see the horrors of hell. At the end of a large tree in the park, Qin Feng stood on top of it. White light flickered in his hands as he looked at the scene in front of him without changing his expression. He was the creator of this hell. At this moment, the lives of these 100 or so hooligans were all in Qin Feng's hands. The wind whistling gradually subsided, and Qin Feng had unknowingly landed on the ground. The moment Li saw Qin Feng, she immediately pounced on him and laid in Qin Feng's embrace, not daring to raise her head. "Qin Feng, you killed so many people? You're crazy." Even though she was a senior inspector, Leah, she had never seen such a tragic scene before. She could not accept it. Qin Feng lightly patted Li Yu's jade back and calmly said, "I didn't kill anyone. I only cut off their legs to prevent them from escaping." Li Yu's emotions calmed down a little. and she once again stuck her head out to look at the group of people on the ground. Everyone was hugging their legs and rolling back and forth on the ground. They were indeed not dead. They had only suffered some superficial injuries. "You scare me to death. I thought you left me behind and ran away." Leah relaxed and pouted as she complained to Qin Feng. "Look at your little guts. You still have the nerve to be a police officer. Also, who am I, Qin Feng? How could the Azure Dragon of China abandon a beauty and watch her die?" As Qin Feng spoke, he did not forget to touch Leah's perky butt. Leah felt it clearly, but she did not reprimand Qin Feng. Hearing Qin Feng's words just now, Leah's heart surged with warmth. "But why do you have to deal with these people?" Leah still did not understand. "Sai, I advise you to quit your job. Your brain and skills are not suitable. Can't you see it? These hoodlums are all from the same organization. They specialize in kidnapping people at night in places with few people." Leah's eyes lit up. She finally understood what Qin Feng meant. "You're saying these people are related to the missing persons case?" Qin Feng patted Leah's soft and perky butt and laughed. "There's an 80% chance that it's related. Once you capture them and interrogate them, it'll be clear." Leah instantly understood a lot of things. No wonder Qin Feng insisted on going against these hoodlums. It was hard for Qin Feng to get Brother Nyo to call for as many people as possible. Qin Feng was making it so that they would not be able to return. Looking at the 100 or so hooligans on the ground, Leah's eyes flickered, as if she had discovered a treasure trove. Even if these hooligans had nothing to do with the missing people case, they were definitely bad guys with criminal records. Leah had just arrived in Zhongchuan City and did not have any achievements. This time, she could catch 100 hooligans and bring them back. "Qin Feng, I love you to death." Leah was so excited that she tiptoed and kissed Qin Feng on the cheek. "Do you really love me? Then why don't I sleep at your place tonight?" Qin Feng laughed. Leah immediately regained her senses. Her beautiful face flushed red. I have to interrogate these suspects tonight. I don't think I'll be able to finish them all night." Qin Feng's smile became even wider. "No problem. Tomorrow night is fine too. Ming, tomorrow night, I might also have something to do." Leah's heart was thumping. "Then just call me when you're free. I'll be there anytime." Leah was extremely shy and said in a voice as soft as a mosquito, "Look, it depends on my mood." Chapter 886. Qin Feng and Leah flirted with each other as if no one else was around. Did he ever consider the feelings of those hoodlums? Brother Ox and the others really wanted to escape, but their legs were all cut open, and even the slightest movement would cause them to feel extreme pain. These people could only sit on the ground and wait for Leah to call a dozen or so police cars to take them away. When the police cars arrived, Big Brother Nyo and the others realized that they had been tricked by Qin Feng. This ugly man was fucking dishonest. Ever since Leah escorted Big Brother Nyo and the hundreds of hoodlums back, she had been busy interrogating them. The police prison was like the new year. There were no extra cells. Qin Feng continued to stay in the house and flirted with Ma Xin. The happiest thing for him every day was to kiss Ma Xin and break through. What a wonderful thing it was to break through in the midst of flirting. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin Feng, for completing the first side mission of I'm a Superstar. Your Weibo fans have exceeded 20 million, and you have become a popular singer. The system rewards host Qin Feng 20,000 hedonist points and a demonic vocal roar. Demonic vocal roar, a demonic cultivator's secret technique, similar to the lion's roar. Once the demonic voice is released, the consciousness of low-level martial artists will be disrupted, and they will lose their ability to fight. Ding! The system has issued the second side mission of Superstar. Become a popular actor and receive an Oscar. Time limit: 2 months. If the mission is completed, the system rewards host Qin Feng 20,000 hedonist points and 3 character conversion cards. If the mission is failed, 40,000 hedonist points will be deducted and a random purple-grade spiritual equipment will be taken back. Character conversion card. Randomly draw 3 character conversion cards. After obtaining the character conversion cards, host Qin Feng can possess the peak strength of the corresponding character for half an hour. The system notification sounded in Qin Feng's mind. The superstar mission had been completed. Just as the system notification disappeared, Ma Xinxin's ear-piercing dolphin voice sounded. Qin Feng, your Weibo fans suddenly broke through 20 million. Ma Xinxin paid attention to Qin Feng's Weibo every day, especially the number of fans. Because Qin Feng kept repeating that he would break 20 million fans every day, Ma Xinxin's ears almost grew calluses. Now, that 20 million fans had really broken through. Ma Xinxin was even more excited than Qin Feng. It was a feeling that was even better than a climax. This is great. It finally broke through 20 million. Xinxin, quick, kiss me. Qin Feng already knew that he had broken through 20 million because the system notified him that he had completed the quest. However, he pretended that he only just knew and hugged Ma Xinxin and started to kiss her. Ma Xinxin was so excited that she didn't pay attention to these things. Qin Feng's arms were strong and strong, his embrace was warm and wide, and his tongue was nimble. In any case, Ma Xinxin was intoxicated. She was completely intoxicated in an instant. Qin Feng's hands started to move about. He realized that this was the first time he kissed Ma Xinxin when she was thinner. This feeling was even more wonderful. You forcefully kiss me, you go away. After kissing for who knew how long, Ma Xinxin finally came back to her senses. She pushed him away and shyly buried her head between her knees. Qin Feng licked his lips in satisfaction and smiled. Exine, I'm already a popular singer, but this isn't enough for me to display my talents. I've decided that in the future, I'm going to develop my career in film and television. Ma Xinxin forgot to be shy and raised her head to look at Qin Feng in shock. After a while, she said, Why, you're sure? You want to develop in the film industry? What's wrong? Is there a problem? Qin Feng was slightly astonished. Ma Xinxin didn't think there was a problem. In fact, there was a huge problem. The reason why Qin Feng could become popular as a singer was because his voice was too unique. Now, all the popular singers in China had commented on his unique voice. They were envious of Qin Feng's unique voice. However, it was different for a film and television star. They had extremely high requirements for appearance. Qin Feng wanted to be a film and television actor with his looks? It's not impossible. Qin Feng, you want to go the comedy star route, right? Similar to Huang Bo, but you're uglier than Huang Bo, so it's a bit difficult. Ma Xinxin earnestly planned Qin Feng's future path in the film and television industry. The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. He was very dissatisfied with this plan. Nonsense, I want to act in a school idol drama. Only the sunny and handsome male lead suits my temperament. Ma Xinxin was about to vomit. She discovered that Qin Feng's narcissism had reached the point of insanity. Ma Xinxin could no longer communicate with Qin Feng normally. However, Qin Feng didn't care. He wasn't joking. He really wanted to be a film and television actor. He wouldn't act unless it was the male lead in a school idol drama. The whole afternoon passed. Ma Xinxin asked Qin Feng about being a film and television actor no less than 100 times. Qin Feng's answers were consistent and resolute. Ma Xinxin couldn't help but believe that Qin Feng was really crazy. Qin Feng, this is for you. You can choose yourself. After dinner, Ma Xinxin tossed a folder to Qin Feng. What's this? Qin Feng asked. Didn't you want to be a film and television actor? I talked to Chairman Du this afternoon. Chairman Du released 15 blockbuster movies that his company is going to invest in. All of them are popular IP masterpieces. Chairman Du said you can choose whichever one you like. Ma Xinxin had always complained that Qin Feng wasn't suitable for the film and television industry, but she still got things done quickly. Qin Feng knew that this girl didn't mean what she said. She obviously thought he was too handsome and was afraid that he would leave her after he became famous as an actor. Xinxin, don't worry. For the sake of your efforts to help me these days, when I become a popular film and television actor, I will never abandon you. At that time, I will arrange the identity of Little 13 for you. You will be responsible for warming my bed every night. Qin Feng looked at Ma Xinxin seriously. Ma Xinxin was stunned. She didn't know where Qin Feng got the courage to say such words. Little 13? Even a mistress couldn't do it. It's still early. Don't dream. Hurry up and choose a film and TV series so that I can reply to Chairman Du. Ma Xin curled her lips and muttered to herself, alas! The IP masterpieces that Starlight Media spent a lot of money to create this time are going to be ruined. Qin Feng and Ma Xin leaned side by side against the headboard of the bed. Together, they chose 15 popular IP adapters. Wow, these are all popular IP adaptations. Left hand fast, right hand slow. This was my favorite romance novel when I was in junior high. And this sorrow is flowing into the sea. I secretly read this book in high school and cried a lot. This book, this is the one I'm most obsessed with among the tens of thousands of books I've read. Hedonist Sovereign. The author of this book is too talented. This is the most profound and tasteful book I've ever read. Ma Xin was startled. Qin Feng was almost dazzled by the beautiful white breasts on her chest. Qin Feng tried his best to calm himself down. Now was the time to get down to business. Qin Feng had also read Hedonist Sovereign. He also felt that this book was very profound. The protagonist was born hedonist and was uninhibited. He was admired and imitated by tens of thousands of people, but never surpassed. Qin Feng felt that the protagonist was very similar to him. Xin, what do you think of Hedonist Sovereign? Why don't you choose this one? Qin Feng asked. Of course, Hedonist Sovereign is good, but do you want to act it? Why don't you change to another one? Ma Xin really liked Hedonist Sovereign, but when she thought about Qin Feng acting in this movie, Ma Xin was against it. Why should I change? You liked it, didn't you? And I. No matter if it's the outer image or the inner content, it fits the protagonist's image. Don't you think so? Ma Xin didn't think so, but she couldn't say it out loud to hurt Qin Feng. Why don't you act and God blows out the light? There's a character with white hair in this movie. You could try it. What the hell is white hair? It's a corpse that doesn't rot for 1,000 years. Later on, white hair grows on its body. That's roughly what it means. Smoke rose from Qin Feng's head. Ma Xin was so scared that she immediately changed her words. Or you can act in Green Cat Sheriff. This is a sci-fi cartoon with a huge investment. It's filmed at the level of a Hollywood blockbuster. No character roles. You can do voice acting. Qin Feng could tell that after all this time. Ma Xin was still worried that he wouldn't want her after he became famous. She thought he was too handsome. Qin Feng didn't listen to Ma Xin's suggestion at all. He insisted on taking the script for Hedonist Sovereign. Ma Xin had no other choice. She decided that after this movie finished filming, she wouldn't go to the cinema. After deciding on the script, Qin Feng flipped through some of the filming information for Hedonist Sovereign. Ma Xin rummaged through another folder for a while and pulled out a stack of documents to hand to Qin Feng. This is the information sheet for the actors, producers, and directors of the Hedonist Sovereign movie. We've already finished preparing for this movie, and we're currently choosing the male lead. If you accept this movie, we can start shooting at any time. Ma Xin said reluctantly. Qin Feng was very happy. His goal was to finish the system's quests in the shortest amount of time possible. Okay, tell little Du to stop the auditions. I'll be the male lead for this movie. Start filming as soon as possible. Ma Xin went to explain the situation to Chairman Du with a face full of disappointment. Qin Feng flipped through the script and the list of actors. After skimming through the script, Qin Feng liked this movie more and more. This was because there was only one male lead in Hedonist Sovereign and countless female leads. Qin Feng quickly looked at the list of actors for the female lead. The names on the first and second row excited Qin Feng. Female lead, Rao Sherman. Female lead, Zhang Ke. So the pretty girl group has also accepted this movie. Then Qin Feng has to be the male lead even more. I wonder if there are any sex scenes? I need to ask little Du to add more sex scenes. The more Qin Feng thought about it, the more excited he became. He continued to look at the list of actresses. Female lead, Shui Er. Second female lead, Fan Lingling. Third female lead, Lin Jiling. The list of actresses from the first female lead to the 18th female lead were all women who had an ambiguous relationship with Qin Feng in this movie. There were a total of 3 female leads. Aside from Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo, Qin Feng had also heard of Shui. She was a popular young actress who suddenly became popular in the recent year. Every one of her teen movies was a hit in the box office. She crushed all the other movies of the same time period. Qin Feng was very satisfied with the 3 female leads. The second female lead to the 18th female lead were all famous female stars. Qin Feng could not wait to flirt with so many female stars. Qin Feng, why are you smiling like an idiot? Ma Xin came back after she finished talking with Chairman Du Xin. The female lead of this movie is the pretty girl group, and Shui. Qin Feng shouted. Ma Xin slapped her forehead and began to pray for these 3 big stars. These 3 were Ma Xin's favorite stars. Who would have thought that their careers would be blocked so soon? Oh, Chairman Du said that this movie is reserved for you. You can look for him anytime. Ma Xin's mood plummeted. Her voice was weak. Chapter 887. Zhongchuan City, AI Shangbar. This is the main base of the Lone Dragon Gang. In the innermost private suite of the bar, Brother Lone Dragon and Brother Li were kneeling on the ground. On the sofa opposite them, Li Xiaojie was sitting there with a cold expression. A few days ago, something big happened to the Lone Dragon Gang. Over 100 brothers of the gang were arrested and brought to the police station in one night. This caused the Lone Dragon Gang to lose a lot of strength, and they didn't even have enough manpower for the past few days. Tell me, what's the point of keeping your dog lives? Li Xiaojie's body was emitting an evil aura of death. The entire room was filled with this aura, scaring Brother Lone Dragon and Brother Li to the point of breaking out in a cold sweat. Elderly, One-Eyed Dragon tried our best. This happened too suddenly, One-Eyed Dragon, and I had no choice. We've already asked around. It was that Leah who did it. Last time, she was also the one who arrested us. That woman is purposely going against our Lone Dragon Gang. Brotherly hurriedly explained, pushing all the blame onto Leah. Li Xiaojie did not want to listen to an explanation. He only wanted results. Ever since the pill competition, after Ghostface Mountain was killed, Li Xiaojie escaped back to the Verdant Sect alone and was placed in an important position by the Verdant Sect leader. The Verdant Sect assigned Li Xiaojie to Zhongchuan City and handed this territory over to Li Xiaojie to develop. This was the first mission given to Li Xiaojie by the Verdant Sect, so he could not afford to make any mistakes. Stop talking about useless things. You must complete the mission I gave you. Capture 300 people a month, or else I can replace you at any time. Li Xiaojie did not care about their feelings. Brother Li and Brother Lone Dragon were so scared that they immediately kowtowed. Elder Li, it's not that we're lazy, it's just that the mission you've given us is too heavy. Right now, the police in Zhongchuan City are vigorously investigating the missing persons case. We're already committing a crime against the wind. The danger has greatly increased. This time, Leah has captured half of the brothers in the gang. The remaining people are simply too busy. I hope Elderly can understand. Brotherly was truly helpless. With his current ability and the number of members in the Lone Dragon Gang, even if they killed him and One-Eyed Dragon, they would not be able to complete the mission given by Li Xiaojie. The two of them couldn't possibly go to the pedestrian street in broad daylight and kidnap anyone they saw, right? Li Xiaojie could also tell that Brotherly had really done his best. After pondering for a moment, he said, "How about this? I'll help you guys kill that woman called Leah. That way you guys can complete the mission, right?" "Yes, if that's the case, One-Eyed Dragon and I will definitely complete the mission." The biggest enemies of the Lone Dragon Gang were Leah and Qin Feng, especially Leah. She was in a high position and had seriously hindered the plan to kidnap people. If they could get rid of Leah, Brother Li and One-Eyed Dragon would be able to do things easily. Elderly, there's still that ugly guy. Do you want to get rid of him as well? Big Brother Lone Dragon hurriedly agreed with Big Brother Li. He had always hated Qin Feng because he was blinded by Qin Feng. Yes, Elderly, that ugly toad man is very strong, and he has an affair with Leah. If you kill Leah, that ugly toad might take revenge on us. Brother Lee and One-Eyed Dragon had personally witnessed Qin Feng's skills. They were so strong that it was inconceivable. He was someone who could calmly injure people in front of a dozen or so spears. Brother Lee and One-Eyed Dragon were even worried in their hearts that Elder Lee was not that brat's match. Li Xiaojia held back a trace of coldness. He said disdainfully, "Look at you guys. You think you're powerful just because you're a human. Watch carefully. I'll take care of that dog couple when I'm free. You guys just need to continue with the kidnapping mission." Since Li Xiaojia had already said so, Brother Lee and One-Eyed Dragon only needed to do as they were told. When they thought about how Leah and Qin Feng were going to be tortured to death, the two of them were extremely excited. After Qin Feng accepted the movie Playboy Sovereign, director Du began to busy himself with preparations. After waiting for 2 days, Ma Xinxin received a call for director Du, inviting her to the company to chat in detail with Qin Feng. Last time, Qin Feng swindled more than 10,000 yuan from the man in the white suit. Later, he gave all the money to Ma Xinxin. Ma Xinxin secretly went to a branded store to buy a white suit and a blue shirt for Qin Feng. Early this morning, Ma Xinxin helped Qin Feng change into the clothes. Qin Feng used to go out in a suit. He hadn't worn a suit for a month. Standing in front of the mirror and looking at himself in a well-ironed white suit, Qin Feng was about to faint from his handsomeness. "Qin Feng, are you done? If you keep looking at yourself, the mirror will break." Qin Feng was admiring himself when Ma Xinxin started to complain again. Qin Feng didn't care about Ma Xinxin's words. He just thought that Ma Xinxin was jealous of his handsomeness. The two of them dressed up, ate breakfast, and rushed to Starlight Media Company. Just as they arrived downstairs, Director Du was already waiting at the entrance with a group of company executives. "Mr. Zheng Shuai, I've been waiting for you." Director Du walked at the front with a thick smile on his face. The directors, vice presidents, and managers behind him didn't dare to talk to Qin Feng easily. They just greeted him politely and immediately retreated to the side with a smile. "Little Du, how's the movie preparation going?" Qin Feng had become immune to flattery and directly began to talk about business. Director Du led Qin Feng and Ma Xinxin all the way to the company. He always kept half a step behind Qin Feng. "Mr. Zheng, don't worry about the movie. I've already contacted Hong Kong's House of Millions Media Company. The boss over there is waiting for you to go over and then start shooting." They had already walked into the hall. Qin Feng pulled Ma Xinxin to sit on the sofa in the reception area as if he had come to his own home. Director Du waved his hand, and the group of executives retreated. "Hong Kong's House of Millions Media Company? Why did you contact the boss over there?" Qin Feng asked. Director Du was a little nervous and hurriedly explained, "Mr. Zheng Shuai, there's something I haven't had time to tell you. The movie rights of the movie you chose, Hedonist Sovereign, were bought by Hong Kong's House of Millions Media Company. This time, their company is investing in the movie, and our Starlight Media is mainly arranging actors." Qin Feng frowned slightly. He thought that this movie was in the hands of Starlight Media. If this was the case, there would probably be some trouble. "Mr. Zheng Shuai, this is all my fault. When Miss Xinxin confirmed the movie with me, I should have explained the situation. If Mr. Zheng Shuai isn't satisfied, you can choose another movie to shoot. Of the 18 movies that were sent to you last time, only Hedonist Sovereign is from Hong Kong's investors. The other 17 are all copyrighted by Starlight Media. You can shoot however you want." Qin Feng was worried about this. The copyright owner and investor were Hong Kong's House of Millions Media Company. Qin Feng wasn't familiar with them. If Qin Feng wanted to add a sex scene, what would he do if they didn't allow it? However, he couldn't shoot the other scenes with the pretty girls group in snow. There weren't that many female leads. Qin Feng really had a headache. "Forget it, let's shoot this one. When the time comes, you can talk to the Hong Kong company and fight for the rights to adapt the script," Qin Feng said. Director Du was slightly stunned. He didn't understand what Qin Feng meant, but Director Du quickly came back to his senses. Okay, I'll do my best." After talking about the movie, both parties confirmed the shooting time. According to the regular schedule, they would leave for Hong Kong tomorrow to shoot the movie. After figuring out everything, Qin Feng prepared to go back and rest. Director Du hurriedly stood up to send him off. He even added, "Mr. Zheng Shuai, I'll send a car to your place to pick you and Miss Xin at 8 a.m. tomorrow. The pretty girls group will go with you to Hong Kong. I've chartered a private plane. Mr. Zheng Shuai, you don't have to worry about this." Qin Feng had just stood up, but he suddenly sat back down. This confused Ma Xin and director Du Zheng Shuai. "Shall we go?" Ma Xin asked. "Ahem. I've been here for so long, but I haven't even had a cup of coffee. I'm a little disappointed," Qin Feng said after clearing his throat. Ma Xin was speechless. Isn't this Qin Feng too useless? He came to discuss a movie collaboration and only left after freeloading a cup of coffee? Director Du was stunned for a long time before he finally came back to his senses. He hurriedly yelled at the front desk, "Quick, get 2 cups of coffee." Seeing that Qin Feng really wanted to drink the coffee, Ma Xin curled her lips and sat back down. Director Du was extremely depressed. This was the first time he met such a strange celebrity like Zheng Shuai. Qin Feng acted as if he didn't see everyone's astonished expression. He said carelessly, "Oh right, the pretty girls group is also going with us tomorrow? Where are they now?" Ma Xin and director Du instantly understood Qin Feng's words. The two of them couldn't help but nod. Ma Xin even snorted coldly. Qin Feng's face turned red. He was a little embarrassed. "Mr. Zheng Shuai, the pretty girls group's manager just contacted me. Their flight will arrive in Zhongchuan City in half an hour. I've already sent a car to pick them up," Director Du said truthfully. Qin Feng pretended to be calm and nodded. He sighed with emotion. "Yes. By the time they arrive, it'll be dinner time." The corner of Ma Xin's mouth twitched violently. She already guessed what Qin Feng wanted to do. However, Director Du didn't quite understand. He smiled and replied, "Yes, I've already booked a hotel and dinner for the pretty girls group. They can eat and sleep when they arrive." Qin Feng couldn't help but roll his eyes at Director Du. He continued, "Yes, they can eat when they arrive. Xin, what are we eating tonight?" Ma Xin knew that Qin Feng was going to say this. She turned her body and ignored Qin Feng. Director Du slapped his forehead and finally understood. "Ahem, Mr. Zheng Shuai, don't worry. I prepared a banquet tonight. When the pretty girls group arrives, how about we have a meal together?" Qin Feng's expression was calm as he said, "Have a meal together? All right, since Director Du is already prepared, I won't spoil your mood." Director Du and Ma Xin looked at Qin Feng's flawless acting and didn't know what to say. However, Ma Xin suddenly had a trace of anticipation for the movie Hedonist Sovereign. With Qin Feng's superb acting skills, it was worth watching. Chapter 888. Time passed quickly as they chatted. Suddenly, a group of people walked into the entrance of Starry Live Media. It was the pretty girls group. Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku walked in front, followed by a female manager. The executives of Starry Live Media surrounded them and escorted the pretty girls group into the house. Music novel Rao Sherman wore a pair of big sunglasses and a milky white open-necked windbreaker that covered her from neck to calf. She wore a red sweater and shorts inside, revealing her slender and fair legs. She wore a pair of black high heels, and her blonde curly hair draped over her shoulders. She looked like a European and American fashionista. Zhang Kuku held Rao Sherman's arm, dressed in a hip-hop outfit as usual. He wore a hip-hop hat on his head and a loose gray hoodie on his upper body. His pants were full of holes as if they had been washed for a long time. He wore a pair of white canvas shoes on his feet. His style was completely different from Rao Sherman's. Both of them wore big sunglasses. They weren't trying to act cool. They were too popular now. If they were recognized by their fans, they wouldn't be able to come here today. After entering the house, both of them took off their sunglasses. Zhang Kuku curiously looked around and jumped around like a monkey. Rao Sherman, on the other hand, was calm and elegant. She stopped in front of Chairman Du. "Chairman Du, Kuku and I were recognized at the exit of the airport. Sorry to keep you waiting." Although Rao Sherman had a high status, she never put on airs. Chairman Du quickly stood up to welcome her. "Superstar Sherman, you don't have to be so courteous with me. You and Cuckoo are the top stars of Starry Live Media. We're old friends. Rao Sherman greeted Chairman Du Zhang. Cuckoo was used to doing things her own way, so she ignored Chairman Du and enjoyed herself. Chairman Du understood Zhang Cuckoo's character, so he wasn't angry. The executives of Starry Live Media retreated. Zhang Cuckoo ran around the hall and returned to Rao Sherman. Wow. Sherman, look, that man is so ugly. I've never seen such an ugly man in my life. He's even uglier than Teacher Xiao Feng. Rao Sherman was exchanging pleasantries with Mr. Du when she was startled by Zhang Cuckoo's sudden outburst. Black lines appeared on Rao Sherman's forehead. Zhang Cuckoo's personality was always like this. She would say whatever came to her mind. Ahem. Mister, I'm really sorry. My sister didn't mean any harm. She's just a little kid who hasn't grown up yet. Please don't take it to heart. Rao Sherman hastily apologized to Qin Feng and secretly glared at Zhang Cuckoo. Qin Feng felt as if a knife had been stabbed in his chest. When he met Zhang Cuckoo in provincial capital university as Xiao Feng, this girl was very mischievous. She would always accidentally say something that hurt Qin Feng's heart. It had been a while since they last met, but this last was still the same as before. Before Qin Feng could speak, Zhang Cuckoo pouted and complained. Sherman, did I say anything wrong? He's ugly to begin with. Cuckoo has never lied in her life. Sherman, if you have the guts, call him handsome. Let's see how embarrassed he is. Zhang Cuckoo's stern and serious expression froze the atmosphere. Cold sweat broke out on Chairman Du's forehead. Ma Xinxin's mouth twitched from time to time as she tried to hold back her laughter. Rao Sherman held her forehead. She was at her wit's end. Qin Feng gritted his teeth. He wanted to swallow Zhang Cuckoo alive. See, if Sherman didn't call you handsome, Sherman wouldn't be able to. Zhang Cuckoo added. Chairman Du couldn't stand it anymore. He hastily stepped forward to mediate. Haha, Sherman Cuckoo, let me introduce you. This is the popular singer Zheng Shuai, and this beautiful lady is his manager, Ma Xinxin. Wow, so you're Zheng Shuai. I've always liked listening to your songs. Nice to meet you. Zhang Cuckoo took the initiative to shake hands with Qin Feng after learning his identity. Qin Feng was furious, but his anger dissipated a little when he saw this girl's ability to appreciate his looks. I didn't expect you to be uglier in real life than in the video. But it doesn't matter. You've chosen the path of strength. Let those who say you're ugly die. Zhang Cuckoo added. Qin Feng held Zhang Cuckoo's hand. It was soft and smooth, and he enjoyed the feeling. He shook Zhang Cuckoo's hand off and said, Zhang Cuckoo, that's enough. If you keep talking nonsense, I'll smack your butt. Zhang Cuckoo was so frightened that she hid behind Rao Sherman. Rao Sherman frowned slightly. Mr. Zheng Shuai, please watch your words. Cuckoo is a girl, and your words are too frivolous. All right. We're all in the entertainment industry, and we're all from Star Media. We should help each other. I've already prepared dinner. Let's go eat together. Chairman Du noticed that the atmosphere was not right, so he hastily tried to persuade both parties. Rao Sherman remained expressionless. Zhang Cuckoo stuck her tongue out at Qin Feng. The manager that the two girls brought along was called Sister Ling. The previous manager, Sister Li, was fired after she betrayed the two girls. Qin Feng paid special attention to Sister Ling. She was much more pleasing to the eye compared to the previous Sister Li. Chairman Du, let's skip the dinner. This is the first time Cuckoo and I are filming a movie. We need to go back and learn more about the things that an actor should pay attention to. Rao Sherman never liked to eat with others. Chairman Du could not let the pretty girl duo go, since they were the people that Qin Feng wanted to have dinner with. Sherman, are you still worried about Chairman Du? It's just a dinner. Don't worry. All right, Mr. Zheng Shuai is the male lead of your movie. We can sit together and get to know each other better. It'll be easier for us to film in the future. Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo's jaws dropped when Chairman Du finished his words. Chairman Du, did I hear it wrong? Mr. Zheng Shuai is the male lead of this movie? Rao Sherman was dumbfounded. Zhang Cuckoo hastily asked, Chairman Du, are you talking about the same thing as us? We're talking about the movie Hedonist Sovereign. The pretty girl duo's reaction was within Chairman Du's expectations. Chairman Du smiled awkwardly and said, "Hee, I'm also talking about the movie Hedonist Sovereign. Mr. Zheng Shuai is the male lead. This matter has been decided, and there will be no changes." Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo were dumbfounded for a full minute. This was the first time the two women had switched to film. Initially, they had high hopes for Hedonist Sovereign, but now they were completely disappointed. Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo were both stunned. "Chairman Du, do you want to reconsider this matter?" Rao Sherman said awkwardly. "Hee, I can't make the decision. It's young Master Yang's decision." Chairman Du laughed. Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo were at their wits' end when they heard that Yang Kan had appointed him as the male lead of Hedonist Sovereign. They couldn't change Yang Kan's mind. "Sherman, Cuckoo, let's have dinner together. Actually, Mr. Zheng Shuai is very talented. Maybe you'll learn to appreciate him after knowing him for a long time." Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo couldn't reject Chairman Du's invitation. In fact, Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo admired Zheng Shuai very much. Rao Sherman even supported Zheng Shuai on Weibo. But to appoint Zheng Shuai as the male lead of Hedonist Sovereign, Rao Sherman thought it was unreliable. They left the company in a grandiose manner. Chairman Du wanted to bring a few bodyguards with him, but was rejected by Qin Feng. It had been a long time since Qin Feng last saw Rao Sherman. Xin misunderstood Qin Feng's behavior by walking beside Rao Sherman. She cursed at Qin Feng in a low voice along the way. "Sherman, thank you for promoting me on Weibo." Qin Feng took the initiative to find a topic to chat with Rao Sherman. Rao Sherman maintained a safe distance from Qin Feng and said politely, "You don't have to thank me. It's your talent and voice that attracted me. By the way, please don't mind what happened just now. Cuckoo, and I didn't mean anything by it. I'm a magnanimous man. I didn't take it to heart. It's rare for me to get together with Miss Sherman. After dinner, we can discuss music together. It'll be great if we can collaborate on a song." They hadn't arrived at the hotel yet, but Qin Feng already thought of getting a room after dinner. "Let's talk about this after dinner. Cuckoo and I have been on the road for a whole day, so we might need to rest early tonight." Rao Sherman declined tactfully. Qin Feng didn't mind. "We're going to Hong Kong to film a movie tomorrow. We'll have a lot of time. I hope I can get along well with Miss Sherman." Now that Qin Feng had changed his appearance, the way he spoke was more polite. He didn't want to scare Rao Sherman and make it difficult for him to approach her in the future. The six of them took 2 cars and arrived at the best 5-star hotel in Zhongchuan City. A private room was already reserved. As soon as they entered the hotel, a receptionist led them upstairs. It's a joyous occasion for the 3 talented and beautiful ladies of our music industry to gather together today. Chairman Du gestured for everyone to take their seats. His mission today was to lighten the mood. Qin Feng and Ma Xinxin sat side by side, while Rao Sherman, Zhang Cuckoo, and Sister Ling sat opposite them. Zhang Cuckoo suddenly walked to Qin Feng's other side and sat down. Her actions stunned everyone. "Cuckoo, you like sitting next to me? Very good. I'll get you some food later." Qin Feng looked at the lively and adorable Zhang Cuckoo. This was the first time he found her so pleasing to the eye. "You're thinking too much. I can't eat when I look up from the opposite side and see you." Zhang Cuckoo rolled her eyes at Qin Feng. This girl had always been merciless with her words. The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. The other 4 couldn't help but burst into laughter. Soon, a sumptuous dinner was served. With Chairman Du's help, the atmosphere was very lively. Although Zhang Cuckoo always made sarcastic remarks about Qin Feng, she and Qin Feng got along very well. The 2 of them were like a pair of quarrelsome lovers. Ma Xinxin was a little jealous when she saw this. "Aya, that plate of prawns is placed in the middle. How can I reach it? Big brother Zheng Shuai, help me get a piece." Zhang Cuckoo looked at Qin Feng pitifully. She was a completely different person compared to when she was bickering with Qin Feng. "Do you want to eat prawns? Call me Handsome first. Handsome, give me a piece of prawn." Zhang Cuckoo's voice was very affectionate. Qin Feng's body almost went limp when he heard it. "Here, this is your reward. Honest children are the prettiest." Qin Feng couldn't help patting Zhang Cuckoo's head. As soon as the prawn entered her bowl, Zhang Cuckoo pouted and glared at Qinfeng. Don't touch me. I lied to you just now. If you want a handsome man, you'll have to be a handsome man. Chapter 889. Qinfeng had dominated China for 20 years, and he had always been the one who made others suffer. He had never suffered a loss. However, Qinfeng's protagonist aura was automatically shielded from Zhang Cuckoo. His temper flared throughout the meal. Zhang Cuckoo, on the other hand, became happier as she ate. Her hands were full of food, and her mouth was covered with grease. Her long legs were restlessly kicking, and Qinfeng's newly bought white trousers were stained black. "Sherman, are you done eating?" Qinfeng was afraid of Zhang Cuckoo. It was a mistake to let Zhang Cuckoo sit beside him. Rao Sherman was much more ladylike. She wiped her mouth and never touched her chopsticks again. She sat quietly across from Zhang Cuckoo and Qinfeng and watched them bicker. "I'm done eating." Rao Sherman smiled at Qinfeng politely. Everyone's relationship with each other improved after the meal. "Cuckoo, look at Sherman. She has to take care of her figure during every meal. You're just like a little sow. Eat until you die." Qinfeng complained to Zhang Cuckoo and hastily went to Rao Sherman's side. Zhang Cuckoo's face was flushed with anger. However, her mouth was full of food. She stuttered for a long time, and no one understood what she was talking about. "Sherman, since we're done eating, why don't we sing a song together?" Qinfeng suggested. Chairman Du and Ma Xin immediately raised their hands in agreement. Rao Sherman and Qinfeng were the two representatives of the music industry. If they sang a song together, the video would go viral. "I think Mr. Zheng Shuai's suggestion is very good. Miss Sherman, you must agree to it." "That's great. That's great. I'll record a video for you." Ma Xin clapped her hands and cheered. She even skipped her meal and picked up her cell phone, ready to record at any time. Rao Sherman found it hard to refuse. Moreover, she really admired Zheng Shuai's voice. A few days ago, she thought it would be good to have a chance to sing a song together with Zheng Shuai. "All right, what song shall we sing?" Rao Sherman stood up. Her tall and slender figure was very attractive. "Let's sing your famous song, Because of You." "All right, let's sing a duet." Rao Sherman immediately agreed to Qinfeng's suggestion. She also wanted to sing Because of You. After the two of them finished discussing, they started to prepare. Qinfeng called for a wooden guitar, while Rao Sherman stood to the side, ready to sing at any time. Qinfeng nodded at Rao Sherman. Then he strummed the zither. Instantly, a melodious yet sorrowful melody filled the room. Zhang Cuckoo forgot to continue eating the lobster in her hand as she stared at the melody with widened eyes. In an instant, Rao Sherman was intoxicated by the sound of Qinfeng's guitar. It was the first time Rao Sherman realized that an ordinary wooden guitar could produce such a beautiful and enchanting sound. "Because of you, I will not give up on my dream. Because of you, there is light in front of me." Qinfeng opened his mouth and sang the first line because he realized that Rao Sherman was still in a daze. His ethereal and hoarse voice rang out. Everyone used to listen to Qinfeng's songs on the internet. Now that they were listening to the live version, it was even more mesmerizing. Rao Sherman finally came back to her senses. It was time for her to sing. This song was composed by Rao Sherman herself, and the lyrics were also written by her. She felt that she was the only one who could sing this song with the feeling in her heart. But Rao Sherman didn't dare to speak after hearing Qinfeng's voice. "We met in the summer 8 years ago. Time flies in the blink of an eye. I'm walking on the path of my dream, and it's all because of you. And you, where are you now?" Rao Sherman opened her mouth. When she sang, her entire aura changed. Rao Sherman's voice was naturally unique. It was like the sound of nature, and everyone who listened to it was filled with enjoyment. "It's because of you that there is yearning. It's because of you that there is loneliness. It's because of you that there is anticipation. It's because of you. It's because of you. My heart is filled with you." When it came to the chorus, Qinfeng and Rao Sherman sang together. Their voices were unique, and each had their own unique characteristics. It was two different voices, but when combined, it reached a sublimation in the depths of the soul. Ma Xin was already crying. President Du's eyes were slightly red and swollen. Sister Ling lowered her head and wiped the tears from the corner of her eyes. Even Zhang Kuku became quiet. This silly girl actually became quiet? This was the first time Qin Feng saw Zhang Kuku being so quiet since he knew her. It was another sweet-sounding sweep, signifying the end of the song. Everyone was still immersed in the beautiful melody with a touch of sadness, unable to come back to their senses. Since Zhang Kuku was a frequent singer of this song, she was the first to regain her senses. Then, she continued to peel the lobster shell in her hand as if nothing had happened. The squeaking sound destroyed the beautiful atmosphere. Rao Sherman had yet to return to her senses. She was still intoxicated by the melody of Qin Feng's guitar. Rao Sherman remembered that she had collaborated with many people for this song. She had even forgotten the names of some of them. However, the most memorable collaboration that left a deep impression on Rao Sherman was when she resonated with Qin Feng in the Qin Mansion. At that time, Qin Feng was playing the piano while Rao Sherman sang. Both of them had reached a soul-deep connection, and it was an unforgettable experience for Rao Sherman. However, tonight, Rao Sherman found that soul-deep connection again. And this time, it was the ugly-looking Zheng Shuai who caused her soul to climax. Rao Sherman gradually regained her senses, and a blush appeared on her fair and charming face. Rao Sherman's heart raced. She was a little excited and a little guilty at the same time. Rao Sherman felt that she had cheated on him. She clearly liked Qin Feng, but she fell in love with Zheng Shuai during the song. Although that feeling was fleeting and Rao Sherman had calmed down now, the feeling of their souls merging with each other was real and profound. Therefore, Rao Sherman blamed herself for betraying Qin Feng and cheating on him in a split second. Clap, clap, clap. The room was filled with applause. Ma Xin and the others had regained their senses. Ma Xin, Chairman Du, and Big Sis Ling applauded from the bottom of their hearts. They'd all heard Qin Feng and Rao Sherman sing Because of You Alone, but it was only tonight that they realized this song had reached a whole new level. Miss Xin, did you record the part just now? Chairman Du looked at Ma Xin excitedly. This video was a treasure. Chairman Du planned to post it on his own platform and publicize it. I don't know. I was lost in thought while listening to it. Let me watch it first. Ma Xin remembered that she had recorded the video. She quickly checked her phone. Fortunately, the video was successfully recorded. Chairman Du heaved a sigh of relief. Sherman, you sang so well. Qin Feng walked to Rao Sherman and started to strike up a conversation. Rao Sherman's feelings toward Zheng Shuai had changed subtly after they sang this song together. She was afraid of Zheng Shuai now, but it was not fear or nervousness. Thank you. I'm a little tired. Cuckoo, Big Sister Ling, I'll go back first. Rao Sherman took a few steps back as Qin Feng walked closer to her, as if he was a bad guy. Qin Feng was dumbfounded by Rao Sherman's action. He thought the song would warm up their relationship, but it turned out to have the opposite effect. Chairman Du, can I buy some lobsters and crabs for supper? Zhang Kuku didn't forget about the delicious food before she left. Chairman Du didn't dare to provoke Zhang Kuku. This girl was too crafty. Chairman Du hastily ordered the waiter to pack the lobsters and crabs for Zhang Kuku. Zhang Kuku was so happy that she couldn't close her mouth. Everyone, I'll go back with Sherman and Big Sister Ling now. See you tomorrow, ugly man. Zhang Kuku stabbed Qin Feng before she left. Qin Feng almost chased after her to give her a good beating. Qin Feng didn't want to stay any longer after Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku left, so he left with Ma Xin. Ma Xin was unhappy as soon as they stepped out of the hotel. She pinched Qin Feng's waist. Qin Feng was caught off guard, and he grimaced in pain. Xin, did you eat too many crabs? Why did you start pinching me? You're the one who ate too many crabs. I just want to pinch you. Ma Xin pouted her lips and acted like an unreasonable person. Ever since Qin Feng met the pretty girl duo, had ignored Ma Xin. Ma Xin ate alone, and she was so angry that she was almost full. You want to pinch me? It's not like I can't. Why don't you nibble down there? Qin Feng glanced at Ma Xin and then at his belly button. Ma Xin was stunned. She stared at Qin Feng in disbelief. She didn't expect Qin Feng to say something so shameless. You're the one who said it, you big jerk. I'll strangle you to death. Ma Xin was really angry, and she was afraid of herself when she was angry. Qin Feng was afraid, but not because he was afraid of pain. In fact, it didn't hurt at all. In fact, it felt good. However, they were on the street, and Qin Feng was almost killed by the stares from the passers-by. Sherman, what are you thinking? You didn't even talk to me on the way back. While Qin Feng and Ma Xin were having fun, Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo were bored in the car back to the hotel. Cuckoo, what did you just say? Rao Sherman came back to her senses. Her cheeks were flushed again. She couldn't help but recall the scene when she sang a duet with Jing Shuai. Sherman, are you possessed by a ghost? Is your soul taken away by a ghost? Oh no, Sherman, don't tell me you fall in love with Jing Shuai. Zhang Cuckoo was so flustered that the chauffeur could feel someone kicking the back of his seat. What nonsense are you talking about? You don't talk nonsense, or I'll get angry. Rao Sherman was startled. She quickly glared at Zhang Cuckoo. Zhang Cuckoo put on an indifferent expression and continued. Sherman, don't you like Qin Feng? You have to be faithful to teacher Qiao Feng. You can't fall in love with someone else. That Jing Shuai is ugly and naughty. He's not a good person, so don't fall in love with him. Zhang Cuckoo lectured Rao Sherman earnestly, making it seem as if Rao Sherman really liked Zhang Shuai. You damn girl. I'll sew your mouth shut if you continue to talk nonsense. Rao Sherman felt as if she was caught having an affair. Her heart beat even faster. Zhang Cuckoo hastily covered her mouth and moved her, but away from Rao Sherman. She continued to mutter, this is too scary. The entertainment circle is too scary. Sherman is going to find Qin Feng as her husband and Zhang Shuai as her manager. Chapter 890. 8 o'clock in the morning at Zhongchuan Airport. Qin Feng and the beauty duo met again. Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo had changed their outfits, but their styles remained the same. Rao Sherman was fashionable and elegant, while Zhang Cuckoo was hip-hop and funny. Last night, Ma Xin pinched Qin Feng for the whole night. The flesh on his waist was swollen. Meeting the beauty duo again, Qin Feng had learned to be smart. He would bring Ma Xin into the conversation whenever they were chatting. Ma Xin was very satisfied with his behavior. Mr. Zhang Shuai, Sherman, Cuckoo, I still have some matters to attend to, so I won't be accompanying you. I'll go to Hong Kong after I'm done with my work. President Du bade farewell to them after he sent them to the airport. The five of them chartered a chartered plane to Hong Kong. Zhongchuan City and Hong Kong were separated by the sea. It only took them about 20 minutes to reach Hong Kong by plane. More than 10 minutes were spent on takeoff and landing. Stepping on the ground of Hong Kong, Qin Feng felt a sense of familiarity. Not long ago, he and Yin Wushuang came to Hong Kong for a mission. Now he was back. Wow, we're in Hong Kong. Quick, let's take a taxi to go shopping. Big brother Zhang Shuai is the best. Zhang Cuckoo usually called Qin Feng ugly, but whenever she needed his help, she would call him Big Brother. Qin Feng was speechless. Cuckoo, stop yelling. We're here to shoot a movie. President Du said that the representative of Hong Kong's House of Millions Media will come to pick us up. Behave yourself. Rao Sherman was used to Zhang Cuckoo's noisy personality. She had a love-hate relationship with Zhang Cuckoo. We can shoot a movie anytime. How can we delay our business? Zhang Cuckoo inverted right and wrong. She treated work as her spare time and fun as her business. Qin Feng and Ma Xin slapped their foreheads. How did this girl become so popular? Miss Sherman, Miss Cuckoo, I'm the production director of Hong Kong's House of Millions Media, Guitao. The company CEO told me to come and pick you up when he learned that you're coming today. Please follow us back to the company's headquarters, said a man in a suit and leather shoes. Before they arrived, President Du had given them the information of the receptionist. Rao Sherman verified it and confirmed Guo Tao's identity. "Hello, Director Guo. Sorry for troubling you." Rao Sherman greeted Guo Tao politely. Guo Tao's gaze lingered on Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku for a few seconds. A hint of possessiveness flashed in the depth of his eyes. Who is this beauty?" Just as Guo Tao was about to bring his men into the car, his eyes lit up when he saw Ma Xin standing beside Qin Feng. "There's another woman here who's as beautiful as Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku." "Director Guo, this is Miss Ma Xin, Zheng Shuai's manager." "That is Mr. Zheng Shuai." Rao Sherman took the initiative to introduce Qin Feng. This was the first time Guo Tao looked Qin Feng in the eye. Previously, Guo Tao thought Qin Feng was a bodyguard brought by the pretty girl duo. Zheng Shuai? Who the hell was he? How come I didn't know? Guo Tao glanced at Qin Feng. The way he spoke was completely different from the way he spoke to the pretty girl duo. Qin Feng was ignored in public. Ma Xin and the pretty young lady duo were a bit unhappy. "Director Guo, Zheng Shuai came with us to film the movie. He's the male lead of the movie Hedonist Sovereign." Rao Sherman had been defending Qin Feng, but she didn't even realize it. What the hell? What kind of international joke is this? This ugly freak is the male lead? Do we still want a box office? Do you think we're playing with the money we invested? Initially, Guo Tao wanted to act like a gentleman in front of the pretty girl duo. Maybe he would have the chance to push them down during the filming. However, after knowing Qin Feng's identity, Guo Tao instantly revealed his true colors. He became a complete hooligan and cursed the moment he opened his mouth. "Director Guo, is there a need to make such a fuss? You're not as handsome as me. Why can't I be the male lead?" Qin Feng couldn't bear listening to Guo Tao's words. If it wasn't for the fact that he was afraid of scaring the three beauties beside him, he would have slapped Guo Tao a long time ago. Guo Tao's face darkened with anger. "I am not as handsome as you. Why, you can scold me, but you can't insult me like this. Why don't you ask Sherman and Kuku if I'm not as handsome as you?" Indeed, Guo Tao wasn't handsome. However, after seeing Qin Feng, he became more confident. Zhang Kuku and Rao Sherman were dissatisfied with Guo Tao. "What does Zheng Shuai's handsomeness have to do with you?" Who in the world would make sarcastic remarks as soon as they met? Although Zhang Kuku was more sarcastic than Guo Tao when she first met Qin Feng, she refused to admit it. "Director Guo, Zheng Shuai is indeed more handsome than you." "Yeah, Kuku thinks so too. Kuku never lies." Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku stood on Qin Feng's side. Zheng Shuai was stunned for over 10 seconds before he regained his senses. Then, he went crazy. "I don't care who you are. Anyway, Hedonist Sovereign won't let you be the male lead. Go back to where you came from." Guo Tao didn't give Qin Feng a friendly look. This was Hong Kong, Guo Tao's territory. The girls rolled their eyes in anger. Even Sister Ling couldn't stand Guo Tao's behavior. However, Qin Feng's expression was calm as he said indifferently, "Your words are useless. It was Starlight Media CEO who begged me to act as the male lead in Hedonist Sovereign. Only the CEO of House of Millions Media can talk to me about this. You're not qualified. Hurry and take us back to the company, or I'll beat you up." Qin Feng had run out of patience. He raised his hand and stretched it toward Guo Tao. Guo Tao was a skinny monkey. He was scared when he saw Qin Feng's sturdy body. He yelled hastily, "W, what are you doing? I'm warning you, don't hit me." Qin Feng stretched his hand toward Guo Tao and retracted it. He combed his hair and said, "What the hell are you yelling for? I'm just messing with my hair. Look at how scared you are. You're even more cowardly than a girl." Guo Tao was so angry that his nose became crooked. Zhang Kuku chimed in, "That's right. You're even more cowardly than Kuku. How embarrassing." "Why, you guys?" Guo Tao dressed up meticulously and arrived in high spirits. He wanted to leave a good impression on the pretty girl group. He didn't expect that he would be so embarrassed in less than 5 minutes. Guo Tao was so angry that he couldn't even utter a complete sentence. Qin Feng didn't give him a chance to speak. You, what are you talking about? Are you mute? Are you mute to receive me and the pretty girl group? What kind of people are in your company?" If there was a ranking for bickering, then Qin Feng was at the top. He was invincible in the universe. With a few words, he turned Guitao from a strong and arrogant guy to a guy who couldn't even speak. I'm not a fucking mute. Yes, you're not a mute. You're a stutterer. Qin Feng laughed. Yes, I'm just a stutterer. Guitao became an idiot after being tricked by Qin Feng. Laughter filled the surroundings. Even the three assistants behind Guitao couldn't help but laugh a few times. Damn you, you're the stutterer. I'm not a stutter. And you guys, what are you laughing at? If you don't want to work here, get lost. Guitao came back to his senses. He was so angry that smoke was coming out of his head. He turned around and scolded the three assistants, venting his anger on them. The three of them immediately stopped laughing. They put on a straight face as if nothing had happened. Guitao took a few deep breaths and tried his best to calm himself down. Initially, Guitao didn't want to bring Qin Feng back to the company. But now he changed his mind. He wanted to bring Qin Feng back and teach this arrogant guy a lesson. Follow me back to the company. Guitao glared fiercely at Qin Feng, turned around, and walked towards the commercial cars. There were 2 commercial cars in total. Qin Feng's group of 5 got in one, and Guitao's 3 assistants got in the other. Guitao hesitated for a moment, then ran to the door of Qin Feng's car. He wanted to take a ride with the beautiful young lady and develop their relationship on the road. Guitao's hand had just grabbed the door frame when Qin Feng suddenly slid the door shut. The door gap caught Guitao's hand, and Guitao cried out in pain. Sir, hurry and go, Qin Feng said to the driver with a calm expression as he glanced at Guitao hanging outside the door. The driver only looked at the left rearview mirror and didn't see Guitao hanging on the right. He started the car and slowly moved. Stop the car. Hurry and fucking stop the car. Guitao suddenly felt the car move. He was so scared that he forgot to scream in pain. He ran with the car while shouting at the driver. The car doors and windows were closed, and the driver didn't hear Guitao's voice. He seemed to want to show off his driving skills. When he turned around, the driver even did a small drift. Wow, look, there's a dog hanging outside the door. This dog runs so fast. Zhang Cuckoo was the first to notice Guitao. She clapped her hands and cheered excitedly. The others looked out of the car window and were shocked. How is that a dog? Driver, stop the car. Rauscherman was a sensible person. Even if she hated Guitao, she wouldn't leave him in the lurch. The driver thought his drift scared Rauscherman, so he smiled proudly and said, Don't worry, beauties. I've been driving for more than 10 years. What I did just now was within the scope of my driving skills. Nothing bad will happen. Rauscherman held her forehead and said speechlessly, Driver, your director Gua is hanging on the door. Creak. As soon as Rauscherman finished speaking, the car came to a screeching halt. When the driver saw Guitao hanging on the right door, he was so scared that his heart almost jumped out of his chest. Qin Feng, hurry and open the door. The car stopped. Rauscherman looked at Qin Feng anxiously. Qin Feng opened the car door unhurriedly. Isn't this Director Gua? Are you going to run back? Qin Feng asked Guitao as if nothing had happened. Guitao's face darkened. He knew Qin Feng purposely closed the door and pinched his hand. However, Guitao couldn't say it in front of a car full of beauties. It was embarrassing. Ahem, how can I run back? Is there something wrong with your brain? I saw that the pretty girl group is cooperating with our company for the first time. I want to get in your car and talk to the 2 beauties about our company situation. Chapter 891. 10 billion liquidated damages. Guitao said as he jumped into the car. The women in the car all had cold faces. Obviously, they were not willing to sit in the same car as Guitao. Everyone please search for the most complete version. The fastest update. The corners of Qin Feng's mouth curled up, and he quickly closed the car door. Bang! A muffled sound spread out, startling everyone. Guitao's screams could be heard, and the driver's jaw dropped to the ground. Ow! Are you fucking sick? Quickly let go. The front half of Guitao's body was already clamped in the car, but the back half was outside the car. That miserable appearance made the women laugh. Do you want to get in? Why didn't you say so earlier? Qin Feng acted as if he didn't know anything. Guo was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. He didn't believe that Qin Feng didn't know. This brat did it on purpose. I already said that I wanted to get in the car. Hurry up and let go. Ouch, my waist is going to break. Guo was so angry that he bared his fangs and brandished his claws as he roared at Qin Feng. However, his body was in so much pain that his forehead was covered in a layer of cold sweat. Qin Feng let go of the car door. This action came without warning, and Guo didn't even have time to react before he fell flat on his face outside the car. Why the hell did you let go? Did you do it on purpose? Guo laid on the ground and screamed. All the girls laughed so hard that tears rolled down their cheeks. Qin Feng glared unhappily at Guo and yelled, "Are you crazy? One moment, you want to run back by yourself. The next moment, you want to get into the car. Just now, you told me to let go, and now you won't let go. We don't want a lunatic like you in the car. That disease is contagious." After Qin Feng finished lecturing Guo, he closed the door and yelled at the driver, "What are you waiting for? Drive." The driver glanced at Guo through the rearview mirror. He really wanted to go down and check on Guo, but when he saw the icy expression on Guo's face, he was so scared that he immediately started the car and flew away. The MPV behind almost hit Guo. The driver slammed on the brakes, and the three assistants hurriedly ran out. "Director Guo, are you all right? What's going on?" Guo rolled on the ground a few times. His white suit was covered in a layer of dust. He was so embarrassed that he couldn't face anyone. "What do you mean, what's going on?" "It's all because the beautiful girl group insisted on getting me in the car to talk about personal matters. I opened the car door and saw that there were too many people, so I didn't get in. Stop talking nonsense. Hurry back to the company." Guo's ability to fabricate lies was superb. However, everyone's eyes flickered. Clearly, they did not believe Guo's words. The two commercial Mercedes-Benz stopped in front of the house of Millions Media, and Qin Feng and the other four alighted from the car. Hong Kong's House of Millions Media Company was the most influential entertainment media company in Hong Kong. Many Oscars and Golden Deer winners, as well as Best Actress and Best Actor winners, were signed by this company. The building in front of him towered into the clouds, and the exterior structure was a glass wall, full of modern and fashionable atmosphere. Qin Feng looked up at the building of House of Millions Media. He had to admit that Hong Kong's development was better than China's. Ugly country bumpkin, you've never seen such a tall building, right? Let me tell you, this is the headquarters of House of Millions Media. I work in the chief supervision office on the top floor every day. You can't be jealous. Although Guo had only just met Qin Feng, he already deeply hated Qin Feng. As soon as he got out of the car, Guo found an opportunity to make cutting remarks about Qin Feng. "Your company has eunuchs? What are you doing there?" Qin Feng asked. Guo's smug expression immediately disappeared. He was dumbfounded by the question. Ma Xin and the other girls were amused. Even Zhang Kuku found Zheng Shui amusing. "Are you deaf?" I said, Director's office. Guo finally regained his senses. "I know. The chief supervisor of the eunuch's office is the director. I'm asking you, what do you do with so many eunuchs in one place every day?" Zhang Kuku squatted on the floor and laughed. This girl never cared about her image. Rao Sherman and Ma Xin covered their mouths and giggled. Sister Ling laughed until her neck turned red, and tears flowed down her cheeks. "You're sick. You're really sick. You've never heard of the position of director. You're just a country bumpkin from the countryside." Guo was so angry that his teeth chattered. He swore to himself that he would teach Qin Feng a lesson after he entered the company. "Director Guo, let's go into the company and talk business." Rao Sherman forced herself to stop laughing and stepped forward to ease the atmosphere. Guo was very proud of his position as the director of House of Millions Media. He especially enjoyed the feeling of his employees calling him director every day. However, after listening to Qin Feng's explanation to the director, Guo felt disgusted when he heard the word director. Without another word, Guo walked into the company with a cold expression. His three assistants did not dare to make a sound. They suppressed their laughter and followed behind him. "Let's go in too," Rao Sherman said to everyone. Ma Xin and Zhang Ke finally stopped laughing. The interior of House of Millions Media was bright and spacious. The decoration was magnificent. As Qin Feng and the others walked on the road, they saw a few familiar celebrities. Guo was in a bad mood. He did not greet anyone along the way and arrived at the top floor in a huff. Finally, he led Qin Feng and the others into the CEO's office. Chairman Gu, the pretty girls group, is here. The door opened, and the group walked in. A middle-aged man with long hair and a pot-belly sat under the floor-to-ceiling window. When he smiled, his squinted eyes disappeared, and he exuded a wretched aura. "Huh, Miss Sherman, Miss Cuckoo, I've heard a lot about you. It's great to have the opportunity to cooperate with you." Chairman Gu walked toward them and extended his fat hand to shake the two ladies' hands. Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo's eyes flashed with displeasure. They had been in the entertainment industry for a long time, so they had a good eye for people. They could tell that Chairman Gu was not a decent person. "Nice to meet you, Chairman Gu. It's my first time here. Nice to meet you." Before President Gu could approach the two ladies, Qin Feng had already grabbed his hand with a smile. President Gu's gaze was fixed on the two beauties, Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo. When he saw Qin Feng, he was so shocked that he almost fell to the ground. "Fuck, who are you? Where did you come from? Are you trying to scare me to death in broad daylight?" Chairman Gu was so scared that his fat jiggled. However, Qin Feng acted as if nothing happened and continued. "Chairman Gu, allow me to introduce myself to you. I'm Zheng Shuai. As my name suggests, I'm the male lead of Hedonist Sovereign. I hope that Chairman Gu can take care of me in the future." Qin Feng said a lot of things, but Chairman Gu was dumbfounded. Was this really the male lead of Hedonist Sovereign? The people of Starlight Media must have shit in their heads. You ugly country bumpkin. Hurry up and let go over Chairman Gu's hand. Who do you think Chairman Gu is? Do you think a piece of trash like you can talk to him? Guo had been looking for an opportunity to teach Qin Feng a lesson. Now that the opportunity had come, he hastily stood up and reprimanded Qin Feng. Chairman Gu was still in a daze. "Am I dreaming? Director Guo, what's going on?" Chairman Gu glared at Guo with a cold expression. "Chairman Gu, this is an actor sent by Starlight Media. I don't think they plan on cooperating with us. They're doing this half-heartedly. An actor with looks like this? I can pick anyone off the street, and they're better than him. Chairman Gu, you can't let him act in Hedonist Sovereign." Chairman Gu roughly understood the situation. He was so angry that his long hair, which he thought was artistic, stood on end. He glared at Qin Feng and yelled, "Scram back to where you came from. Your elder won't let you be the male lead." Qin Feng's treatment had completely changed after he arrived in Hong Kong. In Zhongchuan City, Chairman Du treated Qin Feng like a big boss. Whatever Qin Feng said was the law. House of Millions Media didn't take Qin Feng seriously, but they had the confidence to do so in the entertainment industry. "Chairman Gu, this isn't up to you. Starlight Media signed a contract with your company and picked me out of 10,000 to be the male lead. If you break the contract, you'll have to compensate," Qin Feng said carelessly. Chairman Gu was rich and overbearing. He wasn't afraid of Qin Feng's threat. He sneered and said, "Isn't it just compensation? Guo, find a contract and smash the compensation on this ugly freak's face. Your elder will make him scram." Seeing Chairman Gu and Qin Feng at loggerheads, Guo was indescribably happy. He quickly ran to find Qin Feng's contract. "Chairman Gu, I found the contract." Guo ran back excitedly with the contract. "Turn to the contract compensation page and see how much it is. Take it out and smash this ugly freak to death. He wants to be the male lead? Go act in a horror film." Chairman Gu scolded incessantly. The beauties couldn't bear to watch it anymore. Guo flipped through the contract with a gloating expression. When he flipped to the compensation page, he was so scared that he threw the contract on the ground. "Guo, what the hell are you doing? You can't even do a contract properly. You good for nothing." Chairman Gu glared at Guo, but Guo didn't care at all. His eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. He picked up the contract and stared at the compensation for a long time. Finally, he counted the number of zeros after the one. Chairman Gu, this compensation is 10 billion. Isn't it just 1 million? Look at you making a fuss over nothing. Go get the money now and smash it. Fuck. What did you say? 10 billion? Do you even know how to count? Chairman Gu was so shocked that he jumped up halfway. He snatched the contract from Guo Tao's hand and looked at it himself. Boss Gu carefully counted the zeros 3 times. Suddenly, a myriad of curses ran through his heart. It really was 10 billion. There's something wrong with this contract. In the past, the compensation for breach of contract was within 10 million. This brat is just a newcomer. 1 million is already sky high. How did he get 10 billion? Chairman Gu's mind went blank. The movie Hedonist Sovereign only cost around 10 billion. If he really breached the contract, he would suffer a huge loss. Guo Tao was dumbfounded. He didn't know why Zheng Shuai's compensation was so high. This wasn't the first day that Starlight Media and Hong Kong's media of millions worked together. In the past, the compensation for breach of contract was fixed, and every contract was the same. This time, Guo Tao didn't look at the compensation in detail and casually signed the contract. Now that he looked back, he was in big trouble. Chapter 892. Translator. Henyi Translations Editor. Henyi Translations. Not only were Chairman Gu and Guo Tao stunned, but Rao Sherman and the other 2 women were also stunned. This was the highest penalty they had ever heard of. With Qin Feng's intelligence, he had already figured out the reason behind this. However, Qin Feng didn't know whether he should be happy or angry. This was definitely Chairman Du's doing, and Chairman Du was also the one who increased the penalty fee to such a high amount. Chairman Du was a man with foresight. When he signed the contract, he already guessed that this would happen. He was extremely distrustful of Qin Feng's looks. Chairman Gu, since you insist on breaking the contract, I won't argue with you anymore. Compensate me 10 billion, and I'll go back to the mainland to develop my career. Qin Feng suddenly changed his tactic because every trick led to Rome. Product Book Web. Chairman Gu was dumbfounded. This time, he didn't dare to break the contract with Qin Feng. Ahem. Zheng Shuai, I think your qualities are pretty good. Whether it's your appearance, temperament, inner qualities, or cultivation, you fit the requirements of the male lead of Hedonist Sovereign. I believe that with House of Millions Media's promotion, you'll become an instant hit. Chairman Gu had already changed his attitude. He spoke to Qin Feng calmly, as if nothing had happened. Oh, does Chairman Gu really think so? Why do I remember that you've been looking down on me? Qin Feng teased. Of course not. Director Guo, have I ever looked down on Mr. Zheng Shuai? Chairman Gu glared at Guo Tao. Guo Tao immediately regained his senses. He was so angry that he was about to explode. However, he still forced a smile and said, "Ha. Chairman Gu has never looked down on Mr. Zheng. Whether it's his talent or appearance, Mr. Zheng has reached the standard of an A-list actor. It's our company's honor to have him act in Hedonist Sovereign." Chairman Gu and Guo Tao echoed each other as if they were performing a crosstalk. Ma Xin and the other women didn't have a good impression of these 2. Now, they looked down on them even more. This kind of hypocritical, fickle, and bottomless stinky man was truly revolting. If that's the case, then I'll reluctantly agree to be the male lead of Hedonist Sovereign, Qin Feng said arrogantly. Chairman Gu and Guo Tao had a smile on their faces, but their hearts were about to explode. You look like a ghost, and you still reluctantly agree to be the male lead? If I hadn't been screwed over by you guys on the contract, I wouldn't have even given you the role of a corpse. No matter how unhappy he was, he couldn't change the fact that he was screwed over. Chairman Gu decided not to think about it for now. He didn't want to pay attention to Qin Feng, so his gaze fell on the pretty girl duo. Hee. Beautiful ladies, my name is Gu Feng. Just call me Boss Gu from now on like everyone else. Boss Gu took the initiative to greet the 2 ladies, mainly to get close to them. Big bosses like Mr. Gu, who invested in the entertainment industry, invested with the intention of hitting on girls. However, which actress who had worked with House of Millions Media hadn't been slept with by Mr. Gu? As a result, there was a popular saying in Hong Kong's entertainment circle, If you want to take on a show from House of Millions Media, you have to go to President Gu's bed first. Manager Gu had played with more than half of the female celebrities in Hong Kong, and now he is reaching out to China. This pretty girl group is to his liking. Ancient Wind, you're more like a punk. Zhang Kuku spoke straightforwardly and disregarded Manager Gu's status. She pointed at Manager Gu's long hair and commented. Everyone was stunned for a moment before they burst into laughter. Even Guo Tao's lips twitched, and his neck turned red from holding back his laughter. Don't mind her, Chairman Gu. Kuka never thinks before she speaks. She likes to joke with others, and it's always a kind joke. Rao Sherman disliked Manager Gu, but he was the boss of House of Millions Media. This was the first time Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku had changed their career to film. This movie was very important to their future career, so Rao Sherman stepped forward to smooth things over. Ahem, it's fine. Kuku is innocent and lively. I like her very much. Why don't I adopt her as my daughter? Mr. Gu suppressed his anger and said with a smile, No, you look old and frivolous. I don't want you to be my adoptive father. Zhang Kuku rejected him directly. Everyone thought that Mr. Gu looked old and frivolous, but Zhang Kuku was the only one who blurted it out. The corner of Mr. Gu's lips twitched. He was humiliated by Qin Feng, so he wanted to flirt with girls to ease his mood. But now he was completely speechless. Director Guo, these celebrities just got off the plane. They must be tired. Please bring them to the hotel and take good care of them. Mr. Gu was mentally and physically exhausted. He wanted to be alone. Guo Tao led Qin Feng and the others out of the company. There was a 5-star high-class hotel next to the company. Guo Tao had already prepared the rooms and brought them to the hotel. Zhang Kuku, Rao Sherman, and Big Sis Ling stayed in a presidential suite. Qin Feng and Ma Xinxin each got a suite. Qin Feng wanted to get a suite with Ma Xinxin, but Ma Xinxin was shy in front of everyone. She didn't want to share a suite with Qin Feng. Otherwise, they would misunderstand her. Everyone, please go back to your rooms and rest. This is my name card. Call me if you need anything. I'm going back to the company to deal with some matters. Guo Tao rushed back to the company after arranging the rooms. As soon as he entered Mr. Gu's office, he heard the sound of something being smashed. Motherfucker. Those people from Starlight Media are too daring. How do they play tricks on me? He found an ugly freak to brush me off. I called him to ask about him, but he didn't even respond to me. No wonder Boss Gu was so angry. He had just called Yongkan, and Yongkan had been chatting with him politely. However, when Boss Gu mentioned that he wanted to replace Zheng Shuai as the male lead, Yongkan's attitude changed immediately. In the end, both parties failed to come to an agreement. Yongkan hung up the phone and turned it off. Gee, Mr. Gu, please calm down first. Guo Tao walked into the office cautiously. Calm down. Do you think I can calm down? If Starlight Media isn't in China, I'll find someone to smash his company. Mr. Gu smashed a glass ashtray into pieces. Guo Tao jumped in fright and dodged the glass shards. He hastily advised, Mr. Gu, he's just an ugly country bumpkin. If Starlight Media dares to play dirty, we could do the same. Moreover, this is Hong Kong, and it's our turf. Guo Tao hurried back to talk to Mr. Gu about the plan. Not only did Mr. Gu hate Qin Feng, but Guo Tao hated Qin Feng more than Mr. Gu. After Mr. Gu smashed and roared in anger, he calmed down a little. What do you have? Tell me. Guo Tao trembled in fright. He didn't dare to keep Mr. Gu in suspense. He hastily said, Mr. Gu, we can't fire Zheng Shuai due to the restrictions of the contract. However, we can think of a way to make Zheng Shuai violate the terms of the contract. This way, we can righteously terminate the contract. Mr. Gu's eyes sparkled. This was a good idea. Seeing Director Guo's interest, Guo Tao continued. If you want Zheng Shuai to take the initiative to violate the treaty, or if you want him to take the initiative to terminate the contract, then there are many ways. What I'm thinking now is to call Lu Hai over tonight and have him help me scare Zheng Shuai out of Hong Kong, so that he won't dare to come back in the future. Guo Tao was obviously thinking of a plan along the way. He simply blurted out the plan. Finding Lu Hai will definitely scare Zheng Shuai away. However, as one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong. That guy is naturally a playboy. If he appears, he will definitely look at the beauty of the beautiful girl group. Mr. Gu felt that Guo Tao's plan was generally good, but there were still some details that he was hesitant about. Mr. Gu, it's precisely because Lu Hai is lustful that we should get him to come forward. According to my information, Rao Sherman has a pretty big background in the mainland, so it's not good for Mr. Gu to directly touch her. If Lu Hai goes to test the waters first, then it'll be easy for Mr. Gu to play with that woman. If Lu Hai fails, then Mr. Gu doesn't need to have any more ideas about her. Guo Tao had followed Mr. Gu for so many years, so he naturally knew what Mr. Gu's interests and hobbies were. Mr. Gu carefully analyzed Guo Tao's words and felt that it made more and more sense. This was simply a perfect plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Not bad, not bad. You have a lot of ideas. Let's do as you say. Go and make the arrangements now. Guo Tao had already left the company to contact Lu Hai. Leah, who was in Zhongchuan City, had been extremely busy recently. In the interrogation room of the Public Security Bureau, Leah stayed there for 3 days and 3 nights, interrogating the group of hoodlums that she had captured almost 24 hours a day. Leah had panda eyes, her face was pale, and her eyelids were starting to fight. She was about to collapse, but the group of hoodlums were tight-lipped, and no one had confessed until now. The door to the interrogation room was suddenly opened by someone. Leah did not even have the time to turn around to look when she was suddenly pressed down on the table by 2 policewomen. Who is it? What are you doing? Leah's tiredness immediately disappeared, and she began to struggle and resist. Zhongchuan City Public Security Bureau Chief Leah, we now suspect that you have abused your power and used your power to avenge your personal grudges. Please cooperate with our investigation. A group of people walked into the interrogation room. Looking at their posture, one could tell that they were not small. Leah turned her head with difficulty to look at them. They were the people from the Special Investigation Team, set up by China. Why did you capture me? I did not abuse my power, and I definitely did not do anything against the law. Leah often saw on the news that some big tiger had been captured, but she never thought that one day she would also be captured and investigated. Leah thought about what Qin Feng had said before. The mastermind behind this case was very powerful. Leah immediately understood that these people were probably called over by the mastermind. Comrade Leah, please do not resist. We only came to investigate you after receiving a report. Before the results of the matter are out, you will be detained at the local police station. The person did not listen to Leah's explanation at all. The man standing at the front waved his hand, and the 2 policewomen escorted Leah to the prison. Leah had already calmed down. She did not struggle anymore, and did not even bother explaining. Leah carefully took out her phone with her hands behind her back and sent a message to Qin Feng. Xiaoyu was in heat. The last sentence of the message, "You always fuck me," was enough to explain everything. As for the first half of the sentence, "I'll toast you," it was definitely because Liu was impatient and typed the wrong words. Qin Feng was half happy and half worried. Liu was the woman who had won Hong Kong's most beautiful miss 3 times in a row. Her figure and appearance were without a doubt. How could Qin Feng reject such a beauty when she had a request for Qin Feng? But why did it have to be tonight? What if Zhang Kuku and Rao Sherman also asked him out for a date? What should he do then? Qin Feng thought to himself. Qin Feng had encountered the most difficult choice in his life. After thinking for a while, he decided to call Liu and ask if he could push back the artillery. Could be pushed back a few days? Just as he made the call, the phone was turned off. Qin Feng raised his eyebrows and had a bad premonition. After hanging up, he hurriedly dialed a few more times, but the phone was turned off. Qin Feng's excitement had long since dissipated. He remembered that on the last day he saw Liu. He told Liu to turn on her phone 24 hours a day and call him immediately if anything happened. Now, that Liu sent a strange message and then turned off her phone. Qin Feng felt that something had happened to Liu. Mr. Zheng Shuai, I just finished my work and was about to call you to ask about your situation with Sherman and Kuku. I didn't expect you to. Qin Feng called Director Du and before Director Du could finish flattering him, he interrupted him and said, "Xiao Du, immediately find me news about Li from the Public Security Bureau and tell her to call me back." Qin Feng's voice was unquestionable and carried a trace of coldness. Ever since Director Du met Qin Feng, it was the first time he had heard Qin Feng speak in such a serious voice. "Zheng, Mr. Zheng Shuai, is it Li from Zhongchuan City's Public Security Bureau?" "Yes, she is the chief of the Public Security Bureau. Hurry up and find her. If you have any news, immediately reply to me." Qin Feng was not in Zhongchuan City, so he was extremely anxious. Director Du hung up the phone and did not dare to delay in the slightest. He immediately mobilized all his connections to investigate Li's whereabouts. As the chief of the Public Security Bureau, Li's status was very high, so it was easy to find out. Less than 5 minutes after hanging up, Director Du returned. "How is it?" Qin Feng did not waste any time and asked directly. "Zheng, Mr. Zheng Shuai, I just found a friend from the Public Security Bureau. He said that Chief Li was imprisoned by the people from the Supervisory Committee not long ago." Director Du's voice was trembling. He could tell that Qin Feng cared a lot about Li, and now that Li had been captured by the people from the Supervisory Committee, Director Du did not have the ability to get her out. Qin Feng's face was cold. He did not need to think too much to guess that someone was dealing with Li. As the chief of the Public Security Bureau, Li was investigated, so the other party's power was obviously very strong. Qin Feng did not place his hopes on Director Du. "All right, I'll take care of this myself." Qin Feng hung up and immediately called again. "Qin Feng, it's already so late, where are you?" An emotionless but very pleasant voice came from the other end of the phone. Qin Feng could hear the hidden concern in the voice. "Group Leader Yin, I need your help." The call was to Yin Wushuang. Qin Feng had not seen Yin Wushuang for a while. Once he heard her familiar voice, Qin Feng began to miss this woman. However, Li's situation was urgent, so Qin Feng did not have time to reminisce with Yin Wushuang. Yin Wushuang's voice became serious, and she said in a capable manner, "What is it? Tell me quickly." "My friend in Zhongchuan City has been captured. Send the Dragon Sect member closest to Zhongchuan City to the Public Security Bureau to help him," Qin Feng said quickly. Countless questions flashed through Yin Wushuang's mind. Where was Qin Feng now? Why hadn't he come to see her for a long time? When did he have a friend in Zhongchuan City? Was it a man or a woman? However, Yin Wushuang did not ask any of these questions. She was a very perceptive woman, and she could hear that Qin Feng was very anxious. "All right, what's your friend's name?" Yin Wushuang's voice was still serious and emotionless. "Zheng Shuai." "All right, I'll send someone to help him now." After the call ended, Yin Wushuang had already started to contact the Dragon Sect members. Qin Feng stood under the floor-to-ceiling window and looked across the sea at Zhongchuan City. Even if he had the Dragon Sect to help, Qin Feng was still worried. "Little pig, I want to go to Zhongchuan City as soon as possible." Qin Feng communicated with Little Pig telepathically. "Master, you can summon the flaming golden eagle. It can take you to the sky in minutes." Little Pig was a product of the system. He was a character that spoke in a proper manner, just like an NPC in a game. However, after following Qin Feng for half a year, Little Pig had become a silly pig and could speak internet slang whenever he opened his mouth. With a thought from Qin Feng, a crisp sound rang out. Qin Feng ran and jumped out of the window on the 39th floor. In the next second, the wind whistled past his ears, and Qin Feng really flew into the sky. Look at the sky. In a room on the same floor, a couple was having wild sex in front of the floor-to-ceiling window. The woman lying on the window suddenly screamed. The man was startled. He looked outside the window. Aside from the hazy moonlight and rolling dark clouds, there was nothing. "What are you looking at? Can't you be more serious when you do it? Are you implying that I'm not fierce enough? I'm going to kill you." The man was enraged, and he sprinted wildly. The woman felt wronged. Her man was fierce enough. She really saw a big bird that looked like a fire phoenix flash by, but now she couldn't see anything. Qin Feng couldn't remember how many times he had flown into the sky. He remembered when he was in Acropolis City, He flew into the sky with different women every night. No, Qin Feng was really flying in the sky now. However, this wasn't the first time he had flown into the sky. When they were at Devil Beast Mountain, the flaming golden eagle had brought Qin Feng to soar in the sky twice. This time, Qin Feng flew directly in the night sky of Hong Kong. He felt an indescribable sense of freedom. The flaming golden eagle was a spiritual beast. It realized that its master had urgent matters to attend to. In order to hide its body, the flaming golden eagle flew very high. Its speed was even faster, and it hoped to buy more time for its master. Fortunately, the night was hazy, and the sky was covered with dark clouds. It was as if there was a heavy rain, and the flaming golden eagle happened to be hidden in the clouds. Otherwise, if such a big golden bird flew over Hong Kong's sky, it would definitely cause social unrest. Hong Kong and Zhongchuan City faced each other across the sea. Qin Feng sat on the flaming golden eagle and felt like he was in a trance. He had already entered the territory of Zhongchuan City. Little pig, tell the flaming golden eagle to find a place with no one around to land. Screech. The flaming golden eagle let out a long screech and swooped down from the sky. Qin Feng was depressed. Didn't he say to find a place with no one around to land? This golden eagle was too high profile. What was that sound just now? On the streets of Zhongchuan City, many people suddenly stopped. They heard a strange cry that sounded like the cry of an ancient mythical beast. Where did that sound come from? Can you not make such a fuss in the middle of the night? It's very scary. Mom, there's a big bird flying in the sky, but there's no trace of it. Silly son, how can you recite a poem? There shouldn't be any traces of birds in the sky, but I've already flown over. Mom, there really was a big monster flying over in the sky. It was even flashing with golden light. You've watched too much Ultraman. Don't watch it again tonight. Chapter 894. The prison became damp and cold at night. Now that it was winter, Leah sat on the wooden bed in the prison wearing a thin police uniform, tossing and turning, unable to fall asleep. Gradesbook net. Burn. 1. R-A-N-E-N. The hazy moonlight shone on Leah's face, making her look a little lonely and helpless. Leah felt that she was in big trouble this time, and all she could think of was Qin Feng. Crunch! The prison door suddenly opened, and the dim light from the corridor shone in. Leah's heart almost jumped out of her throat, and she immediately jumped out of bed and ran towards the door. Qin Feng, did you come to save me? Leah's voice trembled. Chief Li, don't let your imagination run wild. Your man can't even protect himself now. Why would he come to save you? At the critical moment, Big Brother is still the one who stands up for you. Big Brother is here to save you. The voice that came over was very vulgar. It was not the familiar voice that Leah had imagined thousands of times. Leah's face immediately darkened, and she immediately retreated to the side of the bed. Li Hui, it's you? Leah recognized the person, but she became even more nervous. Not long ago, Li Hui and One-Eyed Dragon were mysteriously taken away by someone, and now it seemed that the people from the supervisory committee were also brought here by Li Hui. It was just that Leah did not understand. Li Hui was just a small captain in the police station. Where did he get such great ability from? Who was the person behind him? Chief Li, I'm here too. The one-eyed man's laughter was eerie and scary. He was now blind and couldn't see anything. Brother Li had to pull him along the way. Leah watched as Li Hui and One-Eyed Dragon approached her step by step, and instinctively reached out to touch her waist, but it was empty. Leah's only life-saving gun had already been taken away by someone. You don't come over. No. Otherwise I won't be polite. Leah's voice trembled. Brother Li and One-Eyed Dragon were not afraid of Leah. How could the two of them not be able to beat a woman like Leah? How would he have the face to mingle in Zhongchuan City in the future? Chief Li, aren't you very capable? Ordering me around all day long? Aren't you just a little more powerful than me? What the hell are you capable of? I suspect that you slept with some leader before you were promoted. I also like you very much. Tonight, you must serve me well. Back then, when Li Hui was still in the police station, He always had ideas about Leah. Now that he finally had the chance to push Leah down, Li Hui was so happy that he could not close his mouth. Brother Lone Dragon couldn't see anything and shouted anxiously, "Brotherly, brotherly, don't forget about me, your brother. Pull me along. Let's work together. Don't worry. How could I forget you? I'll go take off that bitch's clothes first, don't worry." How could the one-eyed dragon not be anxious? He had seen Leah's beauty before. It was truly beautiful, and her figure was even more sexy and fiery. "Brotherly, brotherly, describe the girl's skin and body parts to me while you take them off. I have a reaction." The one-eyed man was so anxious that he jumped up and down. "Huh, all right, listen quietly. I'll take off that bitch's top first and tell you about her treasures." Li Hui's interest was piqued, and he impatiently pounced towards Leah. Leah screamed. In a moment of desperation, she suddenly raised her leg, and a gust of wind spread out from the soles of her feet, directly kicking Li Hui away. Bang! Li Hui flew from the side of the bed all the way to the cell door and fell heavily to the ground. Even his bones were about to fall apart. One-eyed dragon couldn't see anything. He could only hear the huge commotion. He was so excited that he cried out strangely again, "Brotherly, brotherly, you're not kind. You've already started. Why didn't you bring me along? Quickly describe that girl's breasts. How big are they?" One-eyed dragon still didn't understand the situation and excitedly touched the room like an idiot. Leah looked at Li Hui, who had landed at the door with an expression of disbelief. She was shocked by her current strength. Leah suddenly came to her senses. She had been cleansed by Qin Feng and was now a martial artist of the first level. "You two bastards, this is called courting death." Leah, who had regained her senses, was no longer afraid of the two of them. One-eyed dragon's hand touched randomly, and just as he was about to touch Leah's thigh, Leah raised her leg, and before One-eyed Dragon could understand the situation, his head smashed into the hard cement wall, and he immediately fainted. "Damn, woman, you've been hiding your strength all this time. You bitch, you can fight, can't you? Let's see if you can beat a bullet." It was unknown when, but Li Hui had already crawled up. In his hand was a pitch-black pistol, and the muzzle was pointed straight at Leah's head. Leah was stunned. Although her strength had increased greatly, she did not have the confidence to dodge a bullet. That was a bullet, and the two of them were less than 10 meters away from each other. Leah felt that it was impossible. Seeing that Leah did not dare to move, Li Hui immediately laughed complacently. As he laughed, he grabbed his gun and walked closer to Leah. "You don't dare to move? I thought you were very capable. Do you want to go to the heavens after practicing martial arts? Why don't you use your hands to catch a bullet for me to see?" "I don't believe you." After a series of curses, Li Hui had already walked in front of Leah and was less than a meter away from her. Under the moonlight, Li Hui could clearly see Leah's beauty and figure. His pair of wretched eyes flashed with an evil smile. "What do you want? I advise you to stop here." Leah suppressed the fear in her heart and maintained a cold expression. What do you think I want? Take off your clothes, or I'll shoot you." Li Hui did not dare to throw down his gun to take off Leah's clothes. He was afraid that he would be kicked away by Leah again. Leah was threatened by the gun. Her heart was like an ant on a hot pan. She was extremely anxious. "Are you deaf? I told you to take it off. Do you think I don't dare to shoot? I'll count to 3. If you still don't take it off, I'll shoot you first and then rape your corpse." Li Hui loaded the gun, and the hand holding onto the gun trembled slightly. Leah clenched her teeth in anger. She wanted to pounce on Li Hui and perish together with him. The cell was small to begin with, and the atmosphere was completely frozen. With the gun pointed at her, Leah was in a difficult position. She was a little afraid of death, but who was not afraid of death? However, Leah was even more unwilling to take off her clothes. She did not want to let such a disgusting man like Li Hui touch her. Li Hui's cold voice had already spread out. 1, 2. The third call was about to ring out. Li Hui and Leah were both very nervous. Leah's underwear and vest were all drenched in cold sweat. "Surnamed Li, your enemy is me. What kind of ability is it to point a gun at a woman?" Before Li Hui could even speak for the third time, a cold voice suddenly came from behind him. Hearing this voice, Li Hui was so scared that his legs started to tremble again. But Li was pleasantly surprised, and 2 streams of tears fell. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. Li Hui immediately turned around, and without even looking, he randomly shot at the air. It was as if all the bullets in the pistol had been shot out by Li Hui in an instant, and in the end, there was a kacha-kacha sound of an empty gun, but Li Hui still could not stop. Leah was scared silly. Her entire body was powerless, and she fell to the ground, as if her soul had been sucked out. Leah knew that Qin Feng's skills were very powerful, but under that barrage of bullets, could Qin Feng survive? Leah suddenly regretted sending a text message to Qin Feng for help. Li Hui was still standing on the spot with his body bent. The trembling of his legs increased by a lot, and his squinted eyes nervously looked outside. Now that he had no bullets, Li Hui felt like he had become an ant. Whoosh! The sound of the wind rang out in the silent prison cell. This sound was too familiar, scaring Li Hui so much that he cried out involuntarily. Just as he cried out, he felt his knees with a plop, not because he was scared, but because the tendons in his legs had been cut by the wind blades, and he could not stand at all. Xiaoya, are you all right? A familiar voice, a familiar figure. Qin Feng had already walked into the cell and stopped in front of Li Hui. He opened his palm, and a pile of bullets fell from between Qin Feng's fingers to the ground. You want to see a handheld bullet, right? I'll show it to you. Li Hui sat in a pool of blood, scared silly. He had seen Qin Feng's power before, but only now did he know that it was only the tip of the iceberg. Li Hui even thought back to when he led the team to One-Eyed Dragon's house to capture Qin Feng. Even if his subordinates all fired, they probably wouldn't be able to kill Qin Feng. Oh, Qin Feng, are you all right? You scared me to death. Leah threw herself into Qin Feng's embrace and cried. As she cried, she touched Qin Feng's body to check on his injuries. After looking at it once, Leah realized that Qin Feng was completely unharmed. Leah was once again shocked by Qin Feng's valiant skills, as expected of the Azure Dragon of China's 9 dragons. Xiaoya, why aren't you touching anymore? Qin Feng suddenly asked. Leah was startled. I checked your body. You're not injured. Are you in pain somewhere? Hurry up and tell me. Don't scare me. Leah became nervous again. Her heart that had just relaxed was once again in her throat. Qin Feng looked at his navel and spoke nonsense with a serious face. There's something wrong there. Touch it and see if it's there. Leah did not think too much about it. She reached out and touched it, and suddenly cried out in alarm. Ah, you scoundrel, at this time you're still making such a joke? Leah's beautiful face was flushed red. Qin Feng was fine, and it was spectacular. Qin Feng did not want to take advantage of Leah. He knew that Leah must have been frightened and wanted to use this method to ease Leah's emotions. After Leah touched it, her mood did indeed improve, and her mind was no longer worried about being caught. Her mind was filled with one question. Qin Feng was so spectacular. Could he really go in? Brother Li, why did you kick Lousy just now? You brat, you're not kind. You're a typical example of forgetting your friends in front of you. One-Eyed Dragon was woken up by the violent commotion just now. After he woke up, he could not see the current situation, so he cursed to Li Hui. Li Hui was extremely depressed. He did not even have the mood to pay attention to One-Eyed Dragon. With his hand behind his back, he secretly took out his phone and secretly sent a message. Chapter 895. Of course, Qin Feng saw Brother Li's small movements, but Qin Feng did not expose him. He was waiting for Brother Li to call the people behind him. One-Eyed Dragon was still yelling. Who told him to be blind and not see? Surnamed Li, you bastard. Why don't you fucking say something? Don't tell me you took that woman to get a room? Are you going to leave me here alone? Li Hui, you bastard. Don't let me see you again, or else I'll kill you myself. Li Hui, I want to fuck your mother. Li Hui had already sent the message. He could not bear to listen any longer, so he shouted at One-Eyed Dragon. You idiot, shut up. The prison was silent. One-Eyed Dragon thought that Li Hui had left it behind and ran away. Suddenly hearing Li Hui's voice, One-Eyed Dragon's expression immediately changed. He laughed and said, Brother Li, So you're still here. Are you done? Why can't I hear that bitch's voice? If you can't take it anymore, let your brother do it. I'll kill. You trash. I'll kill you first. Leah did not wait for One-Eyed Dragon to finish and kicked him. One-Eyed Dragon still did not understand what was going on. He fainted again. Seeing One-Eyed Dragon being kicked unconscious again, Brother Lee was speechless. Qin Feng, what do we do now? Leah had already regained her composure. She looked at Qin Feng and waited for him to make a decision. Speak, who's behind you? Qin Feng kicked Li Hui's body, and Li Hui rolled all the way to the corner of the wall. Sitting up again with difficulty, Li Hui grimaced in pain. Big brother, I don't have anyone backing me. Qin Feng did not waste any words. With a wave of his hand, a white light flashed. In the next second, Li Hui saw one of his hands suddenly fall to the ground. That strange scene frightened Li Hui so much that he couldn't even scream in pain. I'll give you one last chance. Who's behind you? Qin Feng's voice floated over as if it came from hell. Li Hui's broken arm had already started to spurt out blood. The piercing pain caused him to scream again and again, but Li Hui did not dare to be careless. As he screamed, he gritted his teeth and said, I am working for the Verdant Sect. Hearing the Verdant Sect, Leah was shocked. That was one of the 3 sects in Huaxia, so Leah naturally knew how powerful the Verdant Sect was. Qin Feng, on the other hand, wore a calm expression because he had already guessed that the Verdant Sect had come to Middle River City. Where are the people of the Verdant Sect? What's the leader's name? After one of his hands was chopped off by Qin Feng, Li Hui no longer had the will to resist. He said whatever he knew. There at Asang Bar. They're here for the Verdant Sect's great elder. Call. Just as Li Hui was about to say Li Xiao Jie's name, the sound of hurried footsteps came from outside. Li Hui seemed to have realized that his reinforcements had arrived. He quickly shut his mouth and didn't say a word about the Verdant Sect anymore. What's happening here? I've already captured Leah. Are you too trash still unable to handle her? All of a sudden, 8 people rushed into the cell. 3 men wearing the uniform of the supervisory committee stood at the front, followed by 5 guards. The guards all held guns in their hands. Once they entered the cell, they spread out and surrounded the entire cell. 5 pistols were already aimed at Qin Feng and Leah's heads. Looking at the professional quality and agility of these 5 people, it was obvious that they were all experts who had undergone special training. Wang, Minister Wang, that woman's wild man is here. That guy is very powerful. Li Hui could not stand up. When he saw the reinforcements, he immediately crawled over. Li Hui had lost an arm, and his entire body was dripping with blood. The 3 members of the supervisory committee glared at him in disdain, and the middle-aged man, standing at the front, kicked Li Hui away. You trash, scram to the side. Don't dirty my clothes. Li Hui rolled twice before he stabilized his body and said with grievance, Minister Wang, I really tried my best. It's that man who's too powerful. He's simply a demon from hell. Just now, he even used his fingers to catch bullets. Li Hui was so aggrieved that he was about to cry. He realized that ever since he met Qin Feng, his life had been worse than a dog's. Just as he finished speaking, Minister Wang angrily rushed forward and fiercely stomped on him. You idiot! I told you to shut up, yet you're still chirping at me. Can't you think before finding an excuse? Pinching bullets with your fingers? Why don't you say you swallowed bullets? Minister Wang was so angry that he was about to die. Did he think that Li Hui was coaxing him like a 3-year-old child? Li Hui was already sullen, and now his tears kept flowing. He wasn't lying. Qin Feng really did use his fingers to catch bullets. Trash, rice bucket. Minister Wang didn't know how many times he had kicked Li Hui. He didn't stop until Li Hui fainted. He turned around and ordered the 5 guards, capture this man and woman. When the 5 of them received the order, 3 of them immediately pounced towards Qin Feng, while the other 2 stood motionless, the guns in their hands aimed at Qin Feng and Leah's heads. What right do you have to arrest me? You colluded with the underground forces and conspired with the Verdant Sect. I'm going to sue you. Leah's belly full of anger exploded. After all, she was a stage 1 inner chi martial artist. She lifted her leg and kicked one of the guards. Halfway through, she was pulled aside by Qin Feng. Sit on the bed and don't move. You're no match for them. Qin Feng's voice rang in Lia's ears. However, Lia realized that Qin Feng was already standing in the middle of the crowd. He swung his fist, and the cell seemed to resound with the roar of a tiger and a dragon. Rumble! Qin Feng punched out with both of his fists and collided with the two guards' fists. Two powerful auras enveloped Qin Feng's fists. Both were the auras of a Stage 6 inner chi expert. Although the auras were powerful, they were met with an even more ferocious aura. It was the inner chi emitted from Qin Feng's body. In a blink of an eye, the two guards were sent flying, and the walls of the cell shook. Bang! When Qin Feng's fists landed, the bodyguard behind Qin Feng froze for a moment. Evidently, he was intimidated by Qin Feng's valiant skills. Qin Feng turned around and kicked the third bodyguard, causing him to fall to the ground. It was as if the battle had ended before it even began. The atmosphere in the cell sank to the bottom. The gloomy and cold air froze over. Minister Wang and the other two widened their eyes in disbelief. They were well aware of the strength of the five guards. They were all Stage 6 inner chi masters, 1 in a million. In the secular world of China, a Stage 6 inner chi expert was considered very powerful. They could easily dominate a third or fourth-tier city. However, the five of them met Qin Feng today. Ever since Qin Feng's cultivation was crippled by the divine dragon, he had used the poisonous gas in Ma Xin's body to break through to Stage 8 inner chi. In Qin Feng's eyes, defeating a Stage 6 inner chi expert was as easy as stepping on an ant. You? Are you trying to rebel? Do you know who we are? After a brief silence, Minister Wang regained his senses. Who are you? Qin Feng looked at Minister Wang with a playful expression. We are the representatives of China's Supervisory Committee. We are entrusted by the government to carry out disciplinary inspections in all regions of China. We suspect that you are colluding with Li Ye and abusing your power. You better surrender now. Otherwise, you will be going against the Chinese government. Minister Wang's accusation was serious. Most people will be scared to death by his words. But Qin Feng didn't care. He sneered and said, colluding with Li Ye and abusing your power. These crimes are on point. Since the three of you know your crimes, kneel down and apologize to Chief Li Ye. Minister Wang and the other two guards were stunned. When they regained their senses, they glared at Qin Feng. The three of them were members of the investigation team sent by the capital city. Their statuses were high and mighty. Even the secretary of Zhongchuan City's municipal committee had to bow and scrape to them. Now, an ugly man had suddenly appeared. He was simply audacious and did not put the three of them in his eyes at all. Ignorant brat, I don't want to waste my breath on you. Since you two refuse to cooperate, you can be shot on the spot according to the crime of resisting arrest. Minister Wang looked at the remaining two guards and shouted coldly, "Open fire!" The two of them didn't hesitate. Their mission was to completely obey their leader's orders. The gunshots had already sounded. Lia was so scared that her heart started to beat faster. Minister Wang and the other two guards revealed a complacent smile. It was as if they could already see Qin Feng being shot to death. Qin Feng didn't move. He just stood there and let the bullets hit him. He was afraid that if he changed his position, the two guards would accidentally injure Lia. Bang, 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 bang. The gunshots rang out for a while, and the cell fell into silence again. The guards had already used up all their bullets. Their expressions changed drastically as they stared at Qin Feng, who was standing like a mountain in the middle of the cell. This brat actually didn't fall? What's going on? Why isn't he dead? Not only did the guards notice the abnormality, Minister Wang also let out a strange cry. The other two representatives of the Supervisory Committee were also stunned. Their eyeballs were about to pop out, and they looked like they had seen a ghost. Qin Feng, are you okay? Lia's voice was trembling. She wanted to throw herself into Qin Feng's arms, but she didn't dare to go against what Qin Feng said. Qin Feng told Lia to sit on the bed and not move. Qin Feng didn't say anything. He used his actions to answer Lia. Qin Feng had already walked in front of Minister Wang. Minister Wang was so scared that his legs were trembling, and he almost kneeled on the ground. Just now, that guy surnamedly said that I know how to catch bullets with my fingers. You didn't believe me? Do you believe me now? Qin Feng smiled and spread out his hands. There were bullets between the fingers of both of his hands. The bullets fell to the ground and made a crisp sound. The sound was like muffled thunder, striking the hearts of the few of them. Minister Wang and the other two were scared silly. They realized that they had offended a monster. The two guards who had fired their shots felt like they were in a dream. You, what do you want to do? We are all high officials of China. You, if you dare to harm us, little, be careful. Minister Wang was so scared that his entire body was trembling. When he spoke, his tongue was tied. When he came, he was aggressive. In less than 10 minutes, he had completely become a deflated ball. Chapter 896. Slap. Minister Wang tried to use his authority to pressure Qin Feng, but before he could finish, Qin Feng slapped him. Qin Feng was so strong that he almost slapped Minister Wang's head off. Half of Minister Wang's face was swollen like a pig's head, but he did not scream. It was not that he was trying to suppress the pain, but Minister Wang was stunned by Qin Feng's slap. He had never been slapped by anyone ever since he took office. You dare to hit me? I'll kill you. Minister Wang let out a strange cry and pounced at Qin Feng with bared fangs and brandished claws, looking as if he wanted to perish together with Qin Feng. Qin Feng raised his leg and kicked Minister Wang into a corner. The remaining two supervisors were unhappy with Qin Feng, but they did not dare to say anything. They lowered their heads and did not dare to look Qin Feng in the eye. 3 of the 5 guards were lying on the ground, unable to get up. The other 2 stared blankly at the scene in front of them. The atmosphere once again fell into a dead silence. However, the silence did not last long before it was broken by the sound of footsteps outside. Another large group of people rushed into the cell. There were more than 20 people this time. Because the cell was limited, only 7 people came in, and the rest were guarding the corridor outside. Is Zheng Shuai here? The leader of the 7 people was a tall and strong man. He was 2 meters tall, and his body was as strong as a mountain. Just looking at him was enough to make people shiver. The man was wearing armor made of unknown materials and a red cloak. He looked like a god of death on the battlefield. As soon as he entered the cell, he called Zheng Shuai's name. Before Qin Feng could answer, Leah rushed up to him excitedly. Senior Ji, is that really you? The strong man was the Blue Dragon of China, Ji. He had been guarding Hong Kong recently. When he received Yan Wushuang's call and learned that Qin Feng was looking for help, he immediately led his team to Zhongchuan City. You are Hong Kong's senior inspector, Leah? Ji recognized Leah, and a bright smile flashed across his dignified face. Last time, Ji, Qin Feng, Yan Wushuang, and Leah completed the money laundering mission together in Hong Kong, and everyone left behind a deep friendship. Senior Ji, it's really you. Why are you here? When Leah saw Ji, he was extremely happy. Without waiting for Ji to reply, Leah already had an answer in his heart. This senior Ji was obviously called over by Qin Feng. Thinking about how Qin Feng actually called over the Chinese Blue Dragon to help him when he was in trouble, Leah's heart was filled with warmth. Comrade Leah, why are you here too? I heard that Qin Feng's friend was in trouble, so I came to help. All right, do you know Zheng Shuai? Ji quickly brought the topic back to business. Qin Feng walked over. Senior Ji, I am Zheng Shuai. Little brother, are you all right? Who bullied you here? Big brother will avenge you. Qin Feng's friends were Ji Ye's friends. As soon as Ji Yi saw Zheng Shuai, he treated him as one of his own. Li secretly glanced at Qin Feng a few times. She did not know why Qin Feng was hiding his true identity. However, since Qin Feng did this, he naturally had his reasons, and Leah did not reveal it to Ji Yi. Ji Yi chatted with Qin Feng for a while, and the two of them quickly became familiar with each other. Qin Feng brought Ji Yi and walked in front of Minister Wang and the other 2. The 3 of them were already covered in cold sweat. As high-ranking officials, how could they not know Blue Dragon Ji? Even if they had never seen him in person, his resounding name was like thunder in their ears. Minister Wang and the other two were completely dumbfounded. Even if they were beaten to death, they would never have thought that this time they would actually kick a nail board and attract the big shots of the dragon sect. Ji stood in front of the three of them like a mighty mountain. His expression turned cold, and he turned into an impartial judge. My brother has already explained the situation to me. The three of you, as members of the supervisory committee, are unable to set an example and knowingly break the law. You are simply the scum of our public officials. Ji mercilessly reprimanded the three of them. Minister Wang and the other two did not even dare to let out a fart. They had a look of despair on their faces and knew that even if the gods descended to the mortal world, they would not be able to save them. Bring them back. Ji waved his hand, and the members of the dragon sect surrounded them. A group of people escorted Minister Wang, the other two, and the 5 guards out of the cell. Ji handed the matter over to his subordinates. He was not in a hurry to leave, so he chatted with Qin Feng and Liya for a while. Senior Ji, are you near Zhongchuan City? Why are you here so quickly? Qin Feng asked. Because I completed a mission in Hong Kong. The organization sent me to guard Hong Kong. That's why I came here so quickly. Although Ji treated Jing Shuai as one of his own, the money laundering mission in Hong Kong was a special secret of the Dragon Sect, so Ji did not reveal too much to Jing Shuai. However, Qin Feng understood that although they had defeated the Wei family during the money laundering mission, Feng Qingyu and Shioya of Japan had escaped. The Dragon Sect was probably worried that the Yamaguchi Gumi would send people to cause trouble again, so they had Ji stand guard in Hong Kong. Liya knew Qin Feng and Zheng Shuai's identity. Seeing Qin Feng talking in riddles with Ji, she was also impressed by Qin Feng. Comrade Liya, brother Zheng Shuai, then I'll take my leave first. Don't worry, I will deal with those people strictly. After chatting for a while, Ji took his leave. Liya was acquitted and quickly restored to her position. However, Liya did not stay idle. Earlier on, Qin Feng asked Li Hui about the Verdant Sect's base. Liya immediately mobilized all the police force and went straight to Love Bar. This night in Zhongchuan City was destined to not be peaceful. The entire pedestrian street was cordoned off, and the police began to disperse the crowd. The originally bustling pedestrian street became abnormally quiet tonight. Qin Feng was worried that Liya would lead the team alone, so he stayed by Liya's side. This filled Liya's heart with a sense of security. The main entrance, back entrance, and 2 side entrances of Asang Bar were completely surrounded. Police cars and heavily armed police officers were parked all around the bar. Qin Feng and Liya took the lead and walked in from the main entrance, followed by more than 50 armed commandos. The mopping up work went very smoothly. In such a large-scale operation, as long as one was not brain damaged, they would obediently surrender. The harvest of the night's operation was not small. A total of 138 main members of the Lone Dragon Gang were arrested, plus 108 members were currently locked up in the police prison. With this, the Lone Dragon Gang, which had dominated the underground forces for a long time in Zhongchuan City, completely collapsed tonight. The manhunt had already begun. The police officers brought all the members of the Lone Dragon Gang into the police car. Liya and Qin Feng stood in the lobby of the bar, watching everything proceed in an orderly manner. Although they had arrested so many people and destroyed the Lone Dragon Gang, the two of them did not look very happy. Qin Feng, did Li Hui lie to us? We didn't even catch a single member of the Verdant Sect. Liya raised her eyebrows and looked at Qin Feng. I don't think he's lying. He must have leaked the news when we arrived, and the people of the Verdant Sect escaped before us. Qin Feng quickly analyzed the reason. He did not believe that Li Hui would dare to lie after losing an arm. The best explanation was that the Verdant Sect had already retreated. That's such a pity. If we could capture all the Verdant Sect members in one fell swoop, that would be great. Liya was a little disappointed. Qin Feng patted Liya's shoulder and said with a smile, "Be content. Perhaps this is the best ending for tonight." You haven't seen the Verdant sect members before, so you don't know how powerful they are. If we really manage to trap the Verdant sect members inside tonight, it would definitely be a tough battle. At that time, there will be countless casualties. Let's see how you explain this to the higher-ups. Hearing Qin Feng's words, Leah began to rejoice again. She suddenly looked at Qin Feng and said shyly, "What's there to be afraid of? Anyway, with you protecting me, I won't be injured. If there are really heavy casualties, you can just let the Dragon Sect help me." Qin Feng rolled his eyes and complained, "Littleya, you and I have nothing to do with each other. Do you really think of me as your boyfriend? Then you have to let me use my authority as your boyfriend. Why don't we go back to your house now?" Qin Feng looked at Leah with a smile. Leah's face turned red. No way. I'm so busy tonight. Where would I have the time? When this case is over, I'll ask you out. After these few incidents, Li Ya's resistance towards Qin Feng was getting weaker and weaker. Even though she knew that Qin Feng was lecherous and had a group of beauties by his side, Li was still willing to be with Qin Feng. After capturing all the hoodlums into the car, Qin Feng bid farewell to Leah. Qin Feng still had to rush back to Hong Kong. He was actually an actor. Leah followed a long line of police cars back to the police station. Qin Feng watched as Leah disappeared, and then disappeared into the night as well. There was still a police cordon around the bar. 20 police officers stayed at the scene and continued to guard the place. After an unknown period of time, a black shadow appeared in the bar house. Under the night sky, the black shadow's face was covered in a black robe, merging with the night sky. No one noticed his existence, but he stayed on the roof for a long time, and when Qin Feng and Leah rushed over, he stayed on top. The black shadow was Li Xiaojia. His face was as pale as paper, and his eyes were bloodshot. He was so angry that his hair stood on end. This branch base that had just been established was destroyed by Leah in a single night. Li Xiaojia had the chance to kill Leah and Zheng Shuai just now, but he endured it. Li Xiaojia was not afraid of Leah and Zheng Shuai, nor was he afraid of the hundreds of fully armed police officers. However, Li Xiaojia was afraid of Blue Dragon Ji. Even if he was beaten to death, he would never have thought that Ji would suddenly come to Zhongchuan City and even help Leah. Although the Verdant sect was powerful and even had disciples who held high positions in the Chinese government, in front of a top expert like Ji, those high-ranking officials of the Verdant sect were no match for Ji. Ji did not only represent himself, he represented the Chinese Dragon Sect, and the Chinese Dragon Sect was the most mysterious and reliable team under the Chinese government. The Verdant sect had already given Li Xiaojia an order to avoid the limelight for a period of time, and not to deal with Leah and Zheng Shuai anymore. Li Xiaojia was extremely sullen at this moment. He realized that he had been living very gloomily recently. After being dissected by Qin Feng 3 times in a row, in the end, he was replaced with a pig's heart and dog's kidney. Unexpectedly, his strength increased greatly, and he thought that he could turn the tables and become the king. But in the end, he was beaten up by Qin Feng in the pill competition. He did not expect that because of the death of the Ghost Face Mountain Man, he would receive the attention of the Verdant sect. Li Xiaojia felt that his spring had finally arrived, but before he could even see the green leaves, the newly established base in Zhongchuan City was destroyed. Chapter 897. When Qin Feng returned to Hong Kong, he didn't ride the flaming golden eagle because it was too much for him. Qin Feng had no choice but to come because he was pressed for time. Now that everything was settled, Qin Feng didn't want the people of Zhongchuan City in Hong Kong to discover the flaming golden eagle and make the headlines the next day. Hong Kong International Hotel. Ma Xin and the pretty girls had just received a call from Guotao, saying that Mr. Gu had invited them to a hotel for a meal. Because they were in a different place this time, they couldn't refuse Mr. Gu's invitation. If they really made their relationship too awkward, there would be a lot of trouble during filming. The beautiful young ladies changed into their evening kipeos and went out. Ma Xin also dressed up meticulously and prepared to go find Qin Feng. Since the appearance of the pretty girls group, Ma Xin often dressed herself up in front of the mirror. When she arrived at Qin Feng's door, Ma Xin pressed the doorbell for a while, but Qin Feng didn't come out. Ma Xin angrily took out her phone and called Qin Feng. Sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service. When Qin Feng went to Zhongchuan City, he turned off his phone. He was afraid that Ma Xin and the others would suddenly look for him. It would be hard for Qin Feng to explain. Stinky Qin Feng. Damn Qin Feng, you didn't even open the door or turn on your phone. I'm so angry. Ma Xin thought Qin Feng was sleeping in the room and purposely didn't want to come out. She was so angry that she kicked the door. She felt like she was going to break the door, but she still didn't see Qin Feng come out. Suddenly, Ma Xin thought of a possibility. Could this bastard Qin Feng have abandoned her and gone to the banquet hall to pick up girls? Ma Xin felt that this was very likely, so she quickly turned around and ran to the banquet hall on the 3rd floor. The banquet hall was decorated with gold and jade. Director Gu and Guo Tao had already arrived, and the two of them were standing in the middle of the banquet hall, talking to another man. The man was dressed in a well-ironed white suit, and his words and actions exuded the aura of a rich family son. He was one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong, Lu Hai. Ha! Young Master Lu, you've been very busy recently. I don't see you often. Director Gu called out to Lu Hai. Guo Tao did not even have the right to speak in front of Lu Hai, and could only stand at the side and laugh foolishly. Boss Gu, aren't you a busy man as well? It's so hard to meet you. Gu Feng also had quite a bit of fame and status in Hong Kong. Lu Hai and he could be considered wine and meat friends, and every time they gathered together, the two of them would flatter each other. After a round of pleasantries, Lu Hai brought the topic to business and said with a wretched smile, Hee hee, Boss Gu, you suddenly called me over. Is it because you have new goods? Young Master Lu knows me well. I haven't even said anything, and you already know. President Gu smiled sinisterly. Hee hee, Boss Gu and I are like-minded. Otherwise, we wouldn't have become good brothers, right? All right, what girl is it this time? How old was she? A young model or a singer? Could it be a popular movie star? Foreign or domestic? I haven't tried the transvestites in Thailand. When it came to picking up girls, Lu Hai seemed to have found the direction of his life, and his eyes shone with light. Young Master Lu, don't be anxious. It's the best this time. You should be mentally prepared. Don't get too excited and faint later. Manager Gu deliberately kept him in suspense. Lu Hai-ho was extremely anxious. He quickly asked, Who is it? Tell me. It's Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo, a popular Chinese singer duo. Holy shit. Are you for real? The beautiful girl group is here? Where are they? Where are they? Upon hearing that the beautiful girl group was here, Lu Hai couldn't wait to drag the 2 beautiful girls to get a room. When President Gu and Guo Tao saw Lu Hai's impatient look, both of them felt proud. From the looks of it, tonight's plan should be completed smoothly. Young Master Lu, I already told you not to get excited. The beautiful girl group is indeed here. They're going to have dinner with us tonight. However, there will be a male celebrity. That guy also likes the beautiful girl group. Young Master Lu, what do you think? Without waiting for President Gu to finish, Lu Hai patted his chest and shouted, Holy shit, what's the name of that male celebrity? Where is he from? What's his background? You want to fight with me, Lu Hai, for a woman? You don't want to fucking stay in Hong Kong anymore, do you? Seeing Lu Hai's arrogant attitude, President Gu and Guo Tao were so happy that they couldn't close their mouths. Young Master Lu, that guy's called Zheng Shuai. He's a singer who has become popular recently. This time, he and the beautiful girl group accepted a show from our company. That guy doesn't have any background. He's an ugly country bumpkin from the countryside. It's precisely because he's from the countryside that he hasn't seen the big world and doesn't know the rules. He's arrogant all day long and doesn't even put me in his eyes. President Gu said all kinds of bad things about Qin Feng. Qin Feng wasn't here anyway. When Lu Hai heard that Zheng Shuai was a country bumpkin from the countryside, how could he put Zheng Shuai in his eyes? His expression and tone became even more arrogant. TSK, a country bumpkin came to Hong Kong to film? If he's obedient tonight, I won't lower myself to his level. If he doesn't know what's good for him, I'll teach him a lesson. With Lu Hai's words, President Gu and Guo Tao felt much better. The three of them chatted for a while, and the beautiful girl group walked in. President Gu, Director Guo, when Rao Sherman entered the room, she took the initiative to greet them because she knew Zhang Kuku's personality. Why is there a fatty? Who is this fatty? Indeed, Zhang Kuku didn't greet President Gu and Director Guo. The moment she entered the room, she asked about Lu Hai's situation. Lu Hai usually ate too well and was a little fatty. However, he didn't like people calling him fat. When Zhang Kuku opened her mouth, everyone was speechless. Ahem, let me introduce you to one another. This is Young Master Lu, one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong. Young Master Lu, these two are the popular singers in the mainland, Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku from the beautiful girl group. President Gu mediated in the middle. He didn't want Lu Hai to be angered by Zhang Kuku and run away before Zhang Shuai arrived. Lu Hai didn't care about Zhang Kuku's words. Ever since he saw the 2 girls, Lu Hai's eyes couldn't move away. Rao Sherman wore a white cheongsam tonight. She looked holy and noble. Zhang Kuku wore a pink cheongsam. She was cute and lively. The 2 of them had completely different styles, but they were both rare super beauties. Lu Hai had played with many Hong Kong stars, but none of them could compare to the beautiful girl group. Only Leah could compete with the beautiful girl group, but Lu Hai didn't pick up Leah. He couldn't wait to hide when he saw Leah. It's fine, it's fine. So the 2 of you are the famous beautiful girl group. I've seen you on TV before, but now that I see you in person, you're even more beautiful than on TV. As one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong, Lu Hai naturally had his own way of picking up girls. He started to praise the 2 girls. Sure man, Kuku, have you seen Jing Shuai? Just as Lu Hai finished his greeting, Ma Xin rushed in. She thought Xin Feng secretly came to pick up girls, but she didn't expect him to be here. Xin, isn't Jing Shuai with you? We didn't see him. Rao Sherman replied to Ma Xin. Ma Xin was puzzled. She took out her phone and was about to call Xin Feng again when a person suddenly jumped out beside her. Io, who is this beauty? It's my honor to be able to have dinner with so many beauties tonight. Ma Xin jumped in fright and almost kicked Lu Hai away. Hey, stay away from me, do I know you? Other than treating Xin Feng patiently and gently, Ma Xin had no interest in other men. When Director Gu heard that Zhang Shuai had disappeared, he was a little anxious. If Zhang Shuai didn't come, wouldn't the Hongmen banquet tonight be a waste? Young Master Lu, this is Zhang Shuai's manager, Ma Xin. Miss Xin, this is Lu Hai, one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong. He's a hardcore fan of the beautiful girl group. Director Gu introduced them to each other, but Ma Xin still did not give Lu Hai a good look. Ma Xin was also a woman from a wealthy family. She knew best what kind of person the men from a wealthy family were. Just look at Xin Feng, and you will know Zhang Shuai is gone. I'm going to look for him. You guys eat first. Since Xin Feng wasn't here, Ma Xin didn't want to stay any longer. She turned around and went out to look for him. Lu Hai watched as Ma Xin left, and his heart felt like it was being scratched by a cat. How could such a beautiful girl leave just like that? Hee. Young Master Lu, Miss Xin went to call Zhang Shuai. Why don't we go to the table first? When they arrive, we can start eating. Director Gu gave Lu Hai a look. Lu Hai hurriedly went to greet the beautiful girl group. Come. 2 beautiful girls, please take a seat first. Tonight, I've specially set up a grand banquet to welcome you. 2 beautiful girls, please take the main seat. You are the main characters tonight. Since Rao Sherman was here, it wouldn't be good to find an excuse to leave midway. She pulled Zhang Kuku and Sister Ling to their seats. As soon as the 3 girls sat down, Lu Hai sat next to Zhang Kuku. In comparison, Lu Hai liked Zhang Kuku more because this woman had big breasts and no brains. Kuku, you don't know, but I usually like you a lot. I'm happier to see you today than during the New Year. As soon as he sat down, Lu Hai started to pick up girls. However, he chose the wrong target. Why would he pick up Zhang Kuku? Wasn't this courting death? Even Qin Feng didn't have the courage to do so. Are you my fan? Zhang Kuku didn't care whether the banquet started or not. As soon as she sat down, she grabbed the beef salad with her hands and ate happily. Seeing that Zhang Kuku was not as cold as Rauscher Man, Lu Hai was very pleased with himself. He said with a smile, "In all honesty, I grew up listening to your songs. Baba, I learned a lot from listening to your songs." Lu Hai's lies were so good that even Director Gu and Guo Tao admired him in their hearts. Zhang Kuku continued to eat her favorite food and said casually, "Oh, then what's your favorite song?" Chapter 898. Lu Hai quickly signaled CEO Gu with his eyes. CEO Gu was a smart man. He smiled and said, "Young Master Lu, I personally like the song because of you the most. I wonder if young Master Lu is the same as me? Io. Otherwise, why would I say that we are good brothers? CEO Gu, you have good taste. I also like because of you the most." Lu Hai heaved a sigh of relief in his heart. This cover was finally over. Zhang Kuku remained calm and continued, "Oh, so you like because of you? Then why don't you sing a few lines for me?" Just as Lu Hai was feeling proud of his intelligence, the smile on his face froze. Then he signaled CEO Gu with his eyes again. This time, CEO Gu was dumbfounded. It was already rare for him to remember the name of the song, "Because of You." "You want me to sing this song? What kind of joke is this?" "Hee hee. I think it's better if I don't sing. I'm tone deaf and my voice is terrible. Singing is killing me." Lu Hai found another excuse to cover up his lie. CEO Gu and Guo Tao wiped the cold sweat off their foreheads. Why did they feel that this meal was so thrilling even before it started? "Those who sing badly are all ugly," Zhang Kuku said casually. "Beauty Kuku, you can't say that. It's not absolute. Then your singing is bad. You're ugly too. That's for sure." Zhang Kuku glared at Lu Hai with an unforgiving attitude. Lu Hai was a little unhappy, but he could not show it. "I'm not ugly, right? Actually, there are many people who say that I'm handsome." "There are people who say that you're handsome? Are they all blind? You're ugly and your singing isn't good. Don't sit next to me. I despise you." Zhang Kuku had a carefree personality. When she was unhappy with someone, she would definitely say it out loud. Otherwise, Zhang Kuku would feel uncomfortable holding it in. He would rather others suffer than himself. Lu Hai's mouth twitched. He suddenly realized that he was flirting with the wrong person. The atmosphere became a little awkward. Fortunately, Ma Xinxin ran in. "Oh no, Zheng Shuai is missing." Ma Xinxin knocked on the door for a long time, but no one opened the door. His phone was turned off when she called him. Ma Xinxin began to worry about him. "What? Gone? How did he disappear?" Chairman Gu suddenly jumped up. He was more worried about Qin Feng than anyone else. Rauscher Man also stood up and looked at Ma Xinxin anxiously. Xin, tell me the specifics. What's going on?" "I knocked on Zheng Shuai's door, but no one answered. I called his phone, but it was turned off. Did something happen?" Everyone stood up when they learned that Zheng Shuai had gone missing. Only Zhang Kuku continued to chew on a huge crab. As she chewed on it, she mumbled, "Relax, relax. That ugly man looks like he's not serious at all. He must have deliberately turned off his phone to go out and pick up girls. Besides, he's so ugly, the human traffickers wouldn't kidnap him. If they can't sell him, they'll have to pay for it." Everyone was speechless when they heard Zhang Kuku's words. She looked so cute and pure, but why was her mouth so poisonous? Qin Feng had already boarded the ferry to Hong Kong. As soon as he sat down, he sneezed incessantly. Someone was cursing him behind his back. Cough, cough. Kuku's words make sense. "I think we should sit down and wait for a while. Maybe Zheng Shuai will be back soon." Director Gu came back to his senses and began to persuade everyone to sit down. Director Gu held this banquet tonight and even specially invited Lu Hai to suppress Zheng Shuai. He was so scared that Zheng Shuai didn't dare to take even half a step into Hong Kong. Now that Zheng Shuai didn't come, Director Gu was going to die of depression. He could only try his best to stall for time. Lu Hai and Sister Ling had already sat down, but Rauscher Man and Ma Xinxin were still a little worried. Lu Hai hurriedly said, Beauty Sherman, quickly sit down. Don't be polite with me. We're all on the same side tonight, so we must eat and have fun. Also, Beauty XNXN, quickly sit down. Zheng Shuai is such a big person, you can't lose him. Lu Hai was very happy that Zheng Shuai didn't come. This saved him the trouble of teaching Zheng Shuai a lesson. Everyone persuaded Ma Xin to take a seat. She was embarrassed to stand by the side alone, so she sat next to Sister Ling. Seeing that the beauties had all taken their seats, Lu Hai couldn't wait any longer. He raised his wine cup and said to Ma Xin and the other two girls with a smile, Come, I, Lu Hai, offer a toast to the three beauties. It's my honor to be able to meet such beautiful beauties like you. Director Gu and Guo Tao still wanted to delay the banquet, but Lu Hai was extremely anxious. The two of them didn't want to spoil Lu Hai's mood. They all stood up. Zhang Kuku was like someone from another world. She sat there and continued to eat. After seeing Zhang Kuku's poisonous tongue, no one dared to provoke her, so they simply ignored her. Young Master Lu, I'll use tea instead of wine. Rao Sherman picked up the teacup and took a sip. Lu Hai raised his eyebrows and said with some displeasure, Miss Sherman, you're not being kind enough. I'm your hardcore fan, and I'm toasting you from the bottom of my heart. How can you use tea instead? A hint of impatience flashed through the depths of Rao Sherman's eyes. She said in a tough voice, Young Master Lu, I've never drunk. I hope you can understand. After Rao Sherman finished speaking, she sat back down. She had long seen through Lu Hai's intentions. These men didn't have any good intentions. Ma Xin also drank tea and sat back down after drinking. This time, Lu Hai was extremely embarrassed. He hurriedly gave Director Gu a look. Young Master Lu, come, let me toast you. Director Gu hurriedly raised his wine cup to smooth things over. Guo also echoed, Young Master Lu, this lowly one also toasts you. I hope Young Master Lu will take care of me in the future. The three men drank a cup. That scene was also sad enough. After drinking, the three of them sat back down. Just as Lu Hai's butt landed on the chair, he suddenly jumped up with a strange cry. Ouch! What the fuck is this thing? It stabbed me to death. Young Master Lu, are you alright? Young Master Lu, what happened to you? Guo Tao and Director Gu were shocked and stood up. Ma Xin and the other two girls also looked at Lu Hai curiously. On Lu Hai's chair, there was a hairy crab. Lu Hai sat down and flattened the hairy crab. Even the crab roe was sitting on his butt. Ma Xin and the other two girls couldn't help but laugh out loud. Director Gu and Guo Tao's mouth twitched. Everyone didn't need to think to guess that this was done by Zhang Kuku. Only that woman could do such a wicked thing. Zhang Kuku. You're fucking sick. Lu Hai's sitting was really painful. At this moment, there was still a crab pincer stuck in his white trousers. The crab roe dyed his white trousers red. It felt like he had pooped it, and everyone felt disgusted looking at him. Lu Hai was completely furious. He didn't care whether he was picking up girls or not. He pointed at Zhang Kuku and cursed. Young Master Lu, Kuku is just too playful. I can apologize to you if she did something wrong, but please don't yell at her. You scared Kuku. Rao Sherman stood up angrily. Sister Ling immediately ran to Zhang Kuku's side to protect her, afraid that Lu Hai would make a move. Too playful? I think she did it on purpose. You said I scared her? She almost scared me to death. Lu Hai felt like he was about to die. It was as if he was bullying Zhang Kuku when he was the victim. Rao Sherman opened her mouth and wanted to say a few words to help Zhang Kuku. However, she couldn't say anything after thinking for a long time. Lu Hai seemed to be the victim. The atmosphere became very strange. Lu Hai glared at Zhang Kuku with a vicious look on his face. He couldn't wait to tear Zhang Kuku into pieces. Director Gu and Guo Tao stood at the side and didn't say anything because they were holding back their laughter. They were afraid that they wouldn't be able to hold back their laughter. Ma Xin and Sister Ling were speechless. Rao Sherman didn't know what to say. At this time, Zhang Kuku finally put down the food in her hand and glared at Lu Hai angrily. As soon as she opened her mouth, everyone almost fainted from the shock. Ah, my little yellow crab, You died so miserably. This bastard actually sat on your yellow crab. You bastard! Hurry up and accompany my little yellow crab. Otherwise, little yellow crab will become a ghost and clamp you to death. Lu Hai was so angry that he almost fainted. He shouted at Zhang Kuke, "What the hell is wrong with you?" When the crab was delivered, it was already cooked. You secretly placed the crab on my chair. Lousy still hasn't settled the score with you. I, Lu Hai, have never dared to offend Lousy in Hong Kong. Zhang Kuke pouted. She was a little angry. Nonsense. The little yellow crab was alive. It only climbed on your chair to play, but you cruelly sat on it and killed it. Lu Hai felt that he was no longer able to communicate normally with Zhang Kiki and looked at Rao Sherman with a cold face. Tell me, what should we do about this? I am very angry now, and the consequences will be very serious. The atmosphere instantly turned cold. When Lu Hai was angry, he was still very strong. Cough, cough. Sherman, quickly put in a good word for Kiki. If not, give young Master Lu 3 cups of wine. Kiki was indeed in the wrong. What did she have done wrong? Why do you have to play with crabs? This is hurting young Master Lu's, but his image will be ruined. Chairman Gu had already stood up and began to persuade Rao Sherman. Rao Sherman was almost angered to death by Zhang Kuke. This girl could do anything when she was angry, and Rao Sherman had to clean up her mess every time. Young Master Lu, Kiki is still a child and often does strange things. I believe she has no ill intentions. Let me give young Master Lu a cup of wine. I hope you won't take offense. Rao Sherman never drank, but when something like this happened, she had no choice but to raise her cup and plead for Zhang Kuke. Lu Hai still kept a straight face, but he was a little excited in his heart. Because this matter could make the beautiful girl group drink as an apology, it was to Lu Hai's liking. When the two girls were drunk, he would teach them a lesson in bed tonight. Especially Zhang Kuke. Lu Hai want to play with her 10 times. For Chairman Gu's sake, I can let you go tonight, but you and Zhang Kuke must each give me 3 cups of white wine. Otherwise, there's no need to talk. Lu Hai said forcefully. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.